in centuries. Harvey, the most powerful hurricane to hit Texas in more than 50 years, first hit land late on Friday and has killed at least 2 people. It has since stayed around the Texas Gulf Coast, where it is forecast to remain for several more days, drenching parts of the region with a year's worth of rain in the span of a week. Schools, airports, and office buildings in Houston were ordered shut down on Monday as scores of roads turned into rivers and chest-high water-filled neighborhoods in the low-lying city that is home to more than 2.3 million people. Torrential rain also hit areas more than 150 miles away, swelling rivers upstream and causing a surge that was headed towards the Houston area, where numerous bayous have already been breached. More flooding is expected as water levels continue to rise, putting more residents at risk. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers said they were planning to release water from 2 nearby reservoirs into Buffalo Bayou, the primary body of water running through Houston. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
This is the Onion Week in Review. According to sources, all 6.5 million residents of Indiana spontaneously formed thousands of perfectly uniform rows throughout the state Monday morning and established a collective consciousness. Saying, "We are Indiana," the new hive mind talked and moved in unison, with citizens working together to build a massive geometric superstructure in downtown Indianapolis where they would gather to sleep, breed, and feed.
All corns for Indiana. All corns for Indiana.
The collective state went on to report that soon Ohio, Illinois, Michigan, Kentucky, and Canada would all become Indiana. Persons close to Phoenix area friends Jake Welter and Mike Seflin confirmed Friday that the two men are absolutely incapable of greeting each other like normal human beings.
Beep, 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 beep.
Sources say the two full-grown men simply cannot walk into a room and shake each other's hands, relying instead on elaborate dances, forced pop culture references, and extended fake fighting. Neither Welter nor Seflin was available for comment as they were busy pretending to rip each other's faces off.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free to join us on the radio here for the first time in a few days, actually. We were over at the New Hampshire Cannabis Freedom Festival. Daryl and I were. Mark, you weren't unfortunately able to make it up due to some vehicular issues preventing your arrival, but you're back, or I'm back, and back with you here in the Keene, New Hampshire studios of Free Talk Live. With you tonight, it's Ian. Melanie. Oh, sorry, Melanie. Try that one more time.
Melanie.
It's working.
And Mark.
All right. So, back in the regular studio, which means we're back to taking phone calls because we were pre-recorded throughout the weekend.
It's the best way to do it. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was great. It was smaller than last year. Nobody was showing their boobs at this one, which was striking because last year they were all over the place. This year maybe it was just a little too chilly, or maybe the fact that they didn't actually have the professional boob painter person that they had there last year. So it was kind of a more, I don't know, conservative, if you will.
It was a very conservative weed festival. Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah.
I'm just stunned by the notion that all across America, men are reevaluating their career choices after finding out that there's something called a professional boob painter.
Yeah. Well, there was a conversation.
I think you might have to be a woman for that, though.
I think that it helps, but look at...
Or you could probably, if you're really flamboyant, if you can pull that off, if you just pretend to be gay, you can probably get away with it.
Check out the gynecologists. I mean, how many of them are women?
I wasn't one of the...
Not a large percentage.
So last year at what was then called Hemp Fest, this is a new festival, so although it seemed similar, it was kind of different. It was smaller. It was its first year. But last year, the breast painting area, I did not go to. I mean, I was all over the campground, but I didn't specifically. Well, here's why. I mean, there were all kinds of creepy, lecherous guys, apparently, that were sort of lurking around that particular area taking pictures. So there was actually one older guy this year who asked the question of, well, where's the breast painting going on? Like, he was ready to go down there and watch.
Yeah.
And he was disappointed that it wasn't happening.
I feel his concern, but at the same time, don't be creepy.
Yeah,
Hold
exactly.
on, but why is it, if you're doing something publicly, why is it creepy for someone to watch you?
It's just there's something lecherous about it. I don't know, like the behavior of sort of lurking around. If you're not the boyfriend of the girl who's being painted, then it's a little strange, don't you think? Like to just kind of hang around where.
If you go to the gym and just find a chair and sit up behind the gals on the treadmills, just to watch,
sit there,
just to watch the show.
Okay, well, yeah, but the gym isn't really a place to hang out where a festival is.
Arguably,
so if you're
right.
going to walk around naked, people are going to look.
No. I was talking about the painting area, right? So, like, obviously, if the girl's walking around naked, people are going to look, okay? That's how we saw them when we were there last year. They were just walking by.
It's certainly, and it's very interesting, right?
But it's a different story when you've got a bunch of guys, single, lonely guys, hanging around.
Who knows if they're single, but it doesn't really matter.
Whatever, yeah. I mean, they're just sort of...
They are now.
Lurking. They're like lurking around where the painting is being done and photographing that.
I hear this is where the boobs are.
Yeah, and then just kind of standing there quietly or whatever it is they're doing.
Yeah, that's lecherous.
Down there. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's the word I would have used to describe that behavior.
And here I am on the radio defending lechers every night of the week, but I got to say, that is lecherous.
Yeah. Creepy, yes. Lecherous, yes.
I don't like the term creepy generally. I think lecherous is a better term.
It's a more descriptive.
Like
less used.
Yeah, creepy could mean a variety of things. Is it dangerous? No, I don't think it's dangerous.
No, it's broad daylight. I mean, there's no danger involved there. It's just like maybe that girl didn't want that old dude taking pictures for his personal collection.
Yeah.
You know?
Perhaps the boob painter should have a little screen, though. Just a thought.
So anyway, there were a few differences. It was a smaller festival, but we also did a different thing. We did this this sort of libertarian outreach booth this year. Last year we focused on Bitcoin and liberty. This year it was the Libertarian Party and other liberty stuff. We had some Bitcoin flyers, but that was like not the primary thing that we were pushing. We were pushing the Operation Politically Homeless thing, where people can take a quiz, which you can take for yourself over at quiz.freetalklive.com or theadvocates.org, which is where the quiz link takes you. And you can try it out for yourself. We had over 130 people, I believe, take the quiz throughout the weekend, and 67% of them scored as libertarian or on the border of libertarian, which I thought was a really good turnout.
Do they count the whole top quadrant as libertarian, though? Because different tests grade it differently.
So, yes, you're talking about the Nolan chart, which is the chart on which the quiz gives you a score, and then you're then plotted on that chart. And so there are 5 areas. So there's the libertarian, there's left liberal, there's right conservative, there's authoritarian or statist, and then there's centrist. And so we counted everyone as libertarian if they scored in the libertarian quadrant, if you will.
Okay, so that would count anyone from like me all the way to kind of flimsy minarchists.
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, the borderline libertarian people are not pure libertarians. They're not principled libertarians. These are people who probably barely know what the word means.
Libertarians have already taken the test, and don't need to stop by and take the test again.
Well, right. No, I just want to point out, if somebody's not familiar with the test, this is what this result means. It doesn't mean that they're, Rothbard or anything like that.
No,
it just means
they can get 100, which is the highest score you can get.
And still not be a true,
and still not be a pure libertarian. But again,
but this is just essentially it's just a prospecting tool. It's just a tool to open people's paradigms up a little bit, to expand them past just believing that things are either left or right and center, and sort of expanding that to include the libertarian spectrum as well. Libertarian to authoritarianism is the other spectrum that's on this chart. And it's really good. I mean, it was... Having done this thing, and Mark, you helped me with some of these back in Florida when I was an activist.
I've done them here too.
Libertarian Party. I've never done an Operation Politically Homeless booth here.
Yes, well, you did them out on Railroad Square here in
Did
Keene.
I? Really?
Yes.
A long time ago?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I didn't remember that.
Well, you've done so many of them.
Thanks for the reminder.
It doesn't surprise me that you don't remember.
I don't remember doing that because I donated the old OPH stuff to the LP down in Sarasota, Florida before I left.
The board was here.
No way. I donated that stuff. I didn't bring that up with me because where the hell is it now? I don't have it.
I don't know.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure Mark's saying I did this in Keene, New Hampshire, but I don't remember. That would have been like more than a decade ago, or like a decade at this point. But I did do a lot of them down in Florida, and I felt like I just generally feel like overall from all the outreach that I do, whether it's jury outreach as you and I have done over the courthouse, Melanie, or whatever, it just seems like people are more receptive in New Hampshire to being talked to about ideas. They're more open. They're more interested in kind of finding out about new things or themselves and what their beliefs are compared to others. So, like, for instance, at a jury outreach in Florida, I might get 50% of the people taking a jury flyer. But in Keene, New Hampshire, I get 90 to 95% of the people that come by me.
You've been
take a
doing
flyer.
that for so many years and have missed so few jury days over the years. I'm surprised you don't get more people that just say, I got it 3 years ago. Thanks.
It has happened. I have been told that by people. So.
And how do you know when someone turns it down that they're not just an attorney that comes every single time?
Most of the attorneys I recognize, but yeah, certainly I don't know every attorney. But the regulars, I know who they are. I don't offer it to them.
Dedication is admirable.
Well, thank you. But what I was going to say here is that the people of New Hampshire make it a lot easier. They are just compared to, and I don't know what you probably never did anything down in Louisiana as far as outreach, did you?
That would have been too dangerous.
Why would it be too dangerous? What would happen?
The one guy I'm aware of who tried to do jury nullification, or no, he didn't even. It wasn't even jury nullification. It was some kind of protest in the court, not in the courthouse, in the kind of concrete patio in the St. Tammany courthouse is bigger than a lot of buildings.
Is this the area out front of the courthouse?
So
okay.
he wasn't in any way blocking anything, and he went to protest something, and he was arrested within like 5 minutes.
Disorderly conduct?
I don't remember.
So, yeah, I get where you're coming from there, and certainly some states, there was a guy in Michigan who got arrested and convicted for jury tampering this year for doing jury outreach there. But, man, here in New Hampshire, it's just so much easier to talk to folks, and the people at the Cannabis Freedom Festival were really interested. Most of them were willing to stop. The supermajority of them, I would say, stopped and took the quiz. If not the first time we asked, the second time they came by, that kind of thing. Just overall, really successful weekend. It was great. NHCannafest.com. You can learn more about that. Coming up, the latest on Bitcoin, and your calls and thoughts welcome on whatever you want.
So when we brought him home, we didn't realize that Bear, the rescue dog, was actually sick. He had very flaky skin. He was dropping a lot of fur. The vet wanted to do steroid injections, special dog food. Nothing seemed to work. So I've been hearing Dinovite on the radio for years.
Petey stopped eating. All his hair fell out.
Itching, licking, missing fur.
DINOVITE.com. 859-428-1000.
And then it finally sunk in. Oh, you're talking about hair and skin. And all right, I'll try it. Well, it took probably 6 weeks, but after we started using Dinovite, no more flaky skin. He doesn't scratch and itch, and he started to put weight on. It was awesome.
Dinovite is nutrition.
Every rescue dog in America deserves Dinovite for 90 days. I wish that we would have started the Dinovite right away. It would have been so much easier.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-765-9681 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-765-9681. Again, that's 800-765-9681.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that tenth of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Dial toll-free and join us right here on the radio. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Mark, can you tell me about Dash, digital cash?
Yeah. Dash is digital cash. It's a digital money platform designed to replace cash and to help people manage their own wealth. It's fast, private, and easy. Fees are low, transactions are fast, and can even be confirmed instantly if you want to. You can pay anyone, anywhere in the world, anytime, for just pennies on the dollar. Dash is decentralized and run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Anyone can invest in Dash and earn rewards for helping to run the Dash network. Join Dash and help create a better financial system for everyone. Take back control over your financial future today. Find out more at dash.org. There's a lot of momentum behind Dash right now. Go to dash.org and find out why.
All right, let's go to your phone calls and thoughts where you can take control of the airwaves. Bring up anything that you want. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. And then coming up, we haven't gotten into what's been happening with Bitcoin very much since the recent fork had occurred. And there have been some interesting developments recently, so I want to get into that. But first, let's talk to James in New Hampshire. James, you're on Free Talk Live, calling from the Seacoast.
Hey, team. Yeah.
Hey there.
Just calling in because I have something I'm feeling concerned about, and that's Chris Cantwell. But it's something I'm concerned about him for different reasons than usual.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, you've got a lot of Chris Cantwell on the mind these days, James.
Well, I do. Why? The reason I have him on the mind so much right now is because, as best I can tell, he's a political prisoner who's being held without bail for a crime that, hasn't left any long-lasting injury. The guy went and turned himself in and, just walked right into the jail, didn't try to drive off in a high-speed chase or anything. You can never call him a flight risk. And unfortunately, I see my libertarian partners in crime out here kind of, by and large, celebrating it, I want to say. I mean, I think there's a lot of people who view this objectively and would agree. Oh, my baby's waking up. Sorry. View it objectively and see him as a political prisoner, but there are a lot of people who just are kind of psyched about it, and I'm pretty concerned about that.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, and
I agree 100%.
So, for listeners that don't know who Chris Cantwell is, he made news headlines pretty big time about 2 weeks ago after the Charlottesville, Virginia protest/conflict between the white supremacists and the Antifa or anti-fascist groups. he ended up getting on a Vice documentary, a 20-minute-long Vice documentary about those clashes, and it pretty much focused most of the time on Chris. Chris Cantwell is a former co-host here on Free Talk Live who we banned from being a co-host after we determined that he had become a racist. He'd never given any indicator of those beliefs in the past, but he started giving indicators of those beliefs, and we had to terminate his co-hosting ability as a result of that. And so again, then this big blow-up happens for him with all this controversy and publicity, and at the same time, you get the police putting out warrants for his arrest for basically using pepper spray on somebody. He says it was in self-defense. And so what you're saying is, James, that even though you've been a very stern critic of Christopher Cantwell in the past on multiple occasions, for good reason,
yep,
he is,
as am I.
He's a distasteful individual who is, kind of, for a lot of people, an embarrassment to the Liberty Movement, because he was part of the Liberty Movement for a time. But yet you are able to put that aside and, sort of accurately assess what's been happening to him from a legal aspect, and it doesn't look fair to you, and you're not, even though you don't much care for him, you're disturbed by those who are actively hateful and want to see the worst possible thing happen to him. I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but does that kind of sum it up?
Sure. Well, yeah, what I see is that people of all stripes are dancing on his grave for, going down there and into a violent situation, et cetera, et cetera. But even if you believe that he attacked people who didn't attack him first, he's still a political prisoner. And that's the thing that bothers me about this, because the bottom line is, like, everyone who's hosting the show tonight, including and me calling in, we all believe some pretty unpopular things. And if we were out walking in the street in many towns saying those things, there'd be a lot of people who would be excited to get us to shut up too. And
oh yeah, they're called
I guess
Stop
I'd
Free
like to
Keene
think that
here.
people would get my back,
They're called just people, but
here in Keene, there are all kinds of people who really get pleasure from other people's pain that they don't like. It's called Schadenfreude, and they
sure,
just.
Well, and I guess I hope for better from libertarians, because the thing is.
Sorry to disappoint you, but libertarians turn out to be just about the same as everybody else.
Yeah, and
I think we're a little better.
I don't think so.
I think we're a little better.
I don't know about
one
that.
of the things that I
the
kind of
libertarians I met tend to be better in this regard, but like when I think about some of like my views, education's a big pet issue of mine, and a lot of my views on education, especially public education, are really unpopular. But I would hate to believe that I could be out demonstrating somewhere and come get beaten up by somebody and defend myself and get thrown in prison, and then all my friends would be like, "Well, you believed unpopular things, so I guess you have what was coming to him." I don't know.
Yeah, what you were saying, Melanie.
Yeah, so one of the things that I find ironic, and I mean, the state is gonna state they're gonna arrest people and they're gonna hold people without bail worth ridiculous millions of dollars bail for the same crime just because they made the news or they're famous or whatever. So that's the kind of behavior I expect from the state. But from libertarians I've talked to who are kind of just taking a whole lot of glee in this. These are the same people, and I don't mean as a group, I mean some of the same people who have told me constantly in the past that I need to be nicer to the cops and you shouldn't you shouldn't wish ill on people and you shouldn't take joy in people's pain. And,
but here they are doing that.
And here they are like, yeah, I hope he goes to jail forever because he said something I don't like. And it's like, you're being inconsistent.
Yeah. Yep.
So
what's the crime?
Yeah, and I appreciate you pointing out, like, for me, I'm not one of those alt-right race warrior types by any stretch of the definition, but I just think, like, if we're going to try and dream of some society where we all can live peacefully and kind of, objectively view the facts in the case and have law and order, like, it just doesn't help to be setting an example where as soon as someone we really don't like, and I like Chris Cantwell as little as anyone I can possibly imagine.
Yep.
I just don't think we can celebrate, like, people actively celebrating a miscarriage of justice. I just think that's so, I find that to be as offensive as Chris Cantwell's rhetoric.
And these are also the same people. So when he was being, philosophically pure, they were like, oh my God, you're hurting the movement. You can't say that even if it's true. Proportionality is real and this isn't defensive force, even though it is. But you can't say it because, it's going to hurt the movement. And so now that he's, I guess, going more towards what he sees as strategy than as pure philosophy, people are like, oh my God, you're not doing pure philosophy. So I don't know. Just the bystanders here, I kind of am not. at all tolerable of.
It's rare that I find somebody complaining that is what I would call an activist. There are many libertarians, but are they activists? And if they are, then perhaps they're active on the political side, in which case, God bless them. But I just don't. It's a highly inconsistent stand. I tend to agree with you. I don't dislike him as a person as much as you do, James, but I will say that this looks like a complete miscarriage of justice of what Charlottesville attempting to do to him.
Well, so James, thanks for the call tonight. I do have an update on the case, and that is that Chris does have an actual bail hearing coming up this week. So
good, because the fact that they didn't give him one was reprehensible.
Yeah, there's more coming up here. This is Free Talk Live.
Is that Ellen painting her garage?
Yesterday she was trimming her hedges.
What's her secret?
I heard she was eating this new super berry called the aronia berry.
Aronia what?
Aronia berries from superberries.com. They're known for having one of the highest levels of antioxidants that helps with overall wellness.
Where can we get them?
Go to superberries.com/radio. And right now we get a free smoothie recipe book with our order. Plus we can save $4 at checkout.
I can't wait. I've got lots of projects I need to get done.
Yes, you do.
Choose health. Eat purple. Superberries.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You dial in toll free. You bring up anything you want. Our number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
Also, we'll continue the discussion about Christopher Cantwell here in moments. But if you want to get into mining Bitcoin or the new Bitcoin Cash, it's up to you which one you want to mine. I suppose you could mine both if you wanted. Over at pool.bitcoin.com. They make it easy. You don't have to worry about the equipment hassles, the upgrades, the maintenance, the ongoing, you having to know what you're doing when it comes to technical things with Bitcoin mining. It's not easy to do Bitcoin mining, but that's why the professionals over at pool.bitcoin.com will do all the hard stuff for you. All you have to do is decide how much you would like to invest, and there's a handy calculator there at pool.bitcoin.com, which will help you figure out what you might be able to make over time. Again, go to pool.bitcoin.com to learn more about that. We just had James in New Hampshire call in, and James has been a very firm critic of Christopher Cantwell for quite a while. In fact, he was one of the people who was quite upset that we even had Chris on the show for the time that we did. But yet he's able to put aside his, whatever distaste he has for Chris Cantwell as a person and just look at the facts in the legal case against him and how he's being treated in Virginia without having any bail set for him thus far. Now, according to the conversation I had with Chris, it sounds like the bail hearing is going to happen this Thursday. So, every state's different as far as how they do arraignments, bail hearings, and
usually
pre-trials.
got 72 hours.
In this case, it's going to be longer than that.
That's a lot longer than that.
Yeah, it's about a week until his bail hearing is going to happen. So it's going to happen a little bit later on this week. As we know more, we'll definitely let you know. But James brought up this kind of interesting point about these libertarians who should know better about, not to trust the government, not to, let whatever emotion they might have about an individual taint how they're looking at how the government is handling a situation.
I haven't even seen too many people, as far as libertarians, allege to me that he's guilty of whatever crime. I've just heard them celebrate the fact that he's being screwed over. They weren't even making an argument. Like, I can't even say not an argument because they weren't saying, oh, he's guilty. They're saying, at least the people who have come to me, it's like, oh, isn't this funny?
They just want to see somebody suffer. They want to see somebody they don't like suffer.
From the that's a presumption of what it is that they mean when they say it. And I
when people take pleasure in other people's pain, that's usually what's going on there.
I think that
I don't think it's a presumption for most of the people. They're pretty much saying that explicitly.
Well,
not every single person. I haven't read every single comment on the internet and talked to every single human being, but the people that I have come across.
Yeah, I am unsurprised that the state turned its eye upon Cantwell after all of the
publicity
that went on, and
plus he was in videos in a fight with people,
right? And attempted to salvage its own reputation by going after him, and the fact that they're being draconian in the enforcement doesn't surprise me. It's wrong, and I'm willing to call it out as wrong, but I guess I'm unsurprised. And if Cantwell would have asked me, hey, Mark, what do you think's going to happen if I go down there? And I would have said, I think you're going to get arrested, dummy, and they're not going to treat you very fairly. Then would it be okay for me to say, well, I told you so? And if that told you so came along with a chuckle, would it be okay?
Okay, but would it have been one comment if I told you so and you kind of laughed because you don't like him? Or would it have been, 2 weeks long of, hey, did you see this? Hey, let's make 7,000 memes. Hey, isn't this awesome?
And that's different.
And the same people having like a 300 comment thread.
Right.
Like, those are two different things.
Yeah, no, it's very different indeed between you, Mark, telling him personally in a private conversation, told you so, and then what you're describing, Melanie, is people on the internet just going on a tirade about how awful Chris Cantwell is and how he deserves it and all the the pleasure that they're getting from watching this happen to him. And I understand Chris is a dislikable character. He's never been somebody who's had a public persona that has engendered positive feelings. That's kind of always been his act.
I mean, different, strategies are going to work for different people, but.
Oh, it worked very well for him. I mean, he made all kinds of money, doing this act of his, and how much of it's an act, I don't know.
As far as other people, some people are going to respond to him, some people are going to respond to Jeffrey Tucker, some people are going to respond to, whoever.
And I'm sure if Jeffrey Tucker went to jail, there would be some people who were touting how great that news was as well. I mean, just because there are people get a sick amount of pleasure from the pain of others, and I think that's ultimately the problem here. But I wanted to disagree with the idea that libertarians should be or are less likely to behave in this way, and I don't see any evidence for it. I mean, it seems to me that libertarians are just as fallible as human beings as every other human being.
They just know better, and
they should know better.
I feel justified in holding them to a higher standard because I feel like, okay, you know what the NAP is. You've told
the non-aggression principle.
You've told me that you understand the non-aggression principle, and you claim to adhere to it. Therefore, I'm going to hold you to a higher standard of behavior than just a regular person.
I don't think it's unreasonable for you to do that, but at the same time, I don't see any evidence that the reality of libertarians is that they can be held to a higher standard.
Libertarians are just, they're morally equal to all other people. Libertarians are not morally better than other people. Libertarians are luckier than other people.
How's that? Luckier how?
I mean, especially if we're talking about anarchists, which I kind of use those interchangeably, but you know how it works. You know the non-aggression principle. What else you may or may not know, you know that this huge entity aggressing you is wrong. You don't have to go through all the Stockholm Syndrome BS. Yep. The world makes sense if you just having that knowledge makes you luckier than completely immensely luckier than just somebody walking around who is aggressed by cops and maybe they got a ticket for, say, a brake tag or something, and part of them
you're saying they're lucky in that they can understand the nature of the state and the things that are going on around them in a way that other people can't?
And the state is the biggest thing because the state is what's going on right now, but the state and just kind of life in general.
But it doesn't really translate into much. I mean, libertarians are still just as likely, in my experience, to be freeloaders or losers or
it doesn't translate into
trashy
behavior.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's the case.
You don't think what is the case?
That that libertarians are just as likely to be philosophically inconsistent. I think that they are more. I think that it's not that they're unlikely to do it. It's just they're less likely to do it than your average human being because they have a moral philosophy, and some of them follow their moral philosophy some of the time. So therefore, that would make them less likely because other people are not following that moral philosophy all of the time. Or they're following a moral philosophy of a different sort some of the time.
Well, I guess you're right. I don't have enough of a way to really say one way or another as far as, I spend a whole lot more time around libertarians than the average person does, so sure. I have had more experience of more of their failures.
Positive and negative.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, especially someplace where there's a lot of them where it will benefit you to claim to be a libertarian, there are people who are either going to claim that fallaciously or kind of convince themselves that it's true because it's convenient at the time, who will then kind of bargain with that label in order to be able to do things like freeload because they know people will help them out just because they claim that title.
I see.
A, stop doing that, people who are enabling that.
Yep.
And B, that kind of skews the figures there. But I mean, maybe if we ran actual stats, we'd find out that libertarians are 10% more moral than, and I don't think that that's the case. But I mean, the main point I think is just we're not better, we're luckier, and those are two drastically different things.
Let's go to your calls and thoughts. We've got we're going to do that here in a moment. Stand by, folks who are waiting patiently. We will get to you here on Free Talk Live, where you can take control of the airwaves and you can bring up anything that's on your mind. Mark, I know you wanted to talk about price gouging on the way here tonight and the aftermath of the hurricane down there in Texas.
Yep.
The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like Freedom Plus. The latest on what's happening with Bitcoin, 855-450-3733. It's Free Talk Live.
Do you want to help build a better financial system for everyone? Join Dash. Dash is Digital Cash, a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast and easy. Fees are low and transactions are confirmed instantly. Dash is decentralized, run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Dash is set up to succeed where other platforms have failed. Give it a try. Dash.org. Help people take control over their financial future today. Find out more at Dash.org.
I've discovered the next big thing on the internet. Symbi.com is a symbiotic economy with its own currency where people trade services virtually and locally. Forget the old economy. This is your economy. Symbi.com is slick to use and is backed by the same people that helped launch Reddit and Airbnb. I'm not kidding when I say this is the next big thing. Trust me. Go get an account at Symbi.com. Take a look around and post your services. Symbi, SIMBI.com.
Are you tired of paying fees and commissions to that other site? I know you are. And I'm here to tell you about a great alternative to sell your stuff. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the best-selling site to ever come along. It doesn't matter what you're selling, big or small, it's easier than ever. And you can use Skype to show your items and get to know your potential buyer, and they can see that you are for real. No more blind trust. And you're not limited to snapshots. You can video what you're selling to better sell it fast. For as little as $9.95, and that's after a free 30 days, you can sell everything you no longer want with absolutely no fees, ever. Go right now to BuySellMakeOffer.com and become part of a community of buyers and sellers who have already discovered this revolutionary way of getting it sold online. That's BuySellMakeOffer.com. You'll never regret making the switch. BuySellMakeOffer.com. So, what are you waiting for?
Frustrated Superman fans told reporters Monday that the economically healthy and financially stable Daily Planet newspaper is now the most unrealistic aspect of the comic books universe. Acknowledging that enjoying the adventures of a superhero that can fly, lift cars over his head, and shoot beams of light out of his eyes requires some suspension of disbelief, longtime readers said even the comic's most exciting stories are regularly ruined by the implausibility of a thriving daily newspaper, whose advertising revenue and circulation numbers have not at all been threatened by a media landscape overtaken by laptops, smartphones, and aggregation websites.
Look, I could play along with Superman using his breath to freeze a volcano or clapping his hands together to cause some sort of sonic boom, but seeing images of a thriving Daily Planet newsroom not facing layoffs or dwindling home subscriptions just really takes me out of the story. No one in Metropolis has realized they could get news online faster and for free?
This is the Onion News Network.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the Bigot no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, dial toll free, bring up anything you want. Our number here for you to take control of the airwaves is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
Back to your phone calls and thoughts, though I do want to let you know how you can support the Free Talk Live satellite channel on the LRN.FM Liberty Radio Network. We've got 2 satellite channels one of them over North and Central America, another one over Sub-Saharan Africa, and it costs, upwards of $1,000 a month to fund those things. So far, our Patreon has raised, I think, close to $100 a month, so we're like a tenth of the way there, and that's through contributors who have been giving as little as $2 per month. So if you like the ideas of liberty and peace and cryptocurrency being broadcast across 2 continents or more than a couple of continents, then you ought to check out Patreon, our Patreon page, which you can go to at fund.lrn.fm, F-U-N-D, fund.lrn.fm. There's a quick little 3-minute video that you can watch there. Should give you some idea of exactly why the free-to-air satellite feeds that we have are worth your $2 a month. If indeed you think it's worth reaching new people with the ideas of liberty, then maybe that is something you want to join on to. Check it out at fund.lrn.fm. Let's go back to the phones, to the fun. Rusty is in Texas. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Rusty.
Hey, howdy, guys. It's flooding down in Texas, if you haven't heard.
A flood, okay.
I've heard of this.
Yeah. I saw a picture of some elderly people in supposedly like some kind of nursing home just standing around and sitting around in a bunch of dirty water. It looked horrifying.
And that's a true picture. It's not Photoshop.
Wow.
53 counties out of 254 have been declared a disaster zone by the governor. That's roughly 1/5 of the state of Texas. I want to say thanks to the Cajun Navy. And
the Cajun Navy?
Yeah, it's like a group of volunteers.
From Louisiana?
Well, there's Cajuns in Texas.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like a Louisiana thing.
Yeah, all over, and they're really...
They're what? Hello?
Yeah, they're helping us out.
Okay. Are you getting emotional? I apologize.
Poor Ian.
I didn't know if you were laughing, or I didn't know if the Cajun Navy was a joke or what.
No, that's a real thing. They help with hurricanes and
The man's dealing with a natural disaster, and you're like, come on, spit it out!
Well, I didn't know that, I've been through hurricanes before, but I've never seen anybody get all...
I've never seen anything like what's going on in Texas right now. I mean, it's just incredible, the flooding.
Bad and worse hurricanes. They have hurricanes that are just kind of windy and blow a tree over, and then they have hurricanes that mess your stuff up.
Oh, I know.
So
I know about that.
And Houston's had a lot of trouble with flooding. They just didn't prepare for flooding and from a municipal level, and they're paying the piper.
Did something happen to you, Rusty, or did you lose your house or something?
I got insurance claims, but sorry about that. It's just sometimes things come up, but
no, it's okay. I mean, I wasn't sure what was going on there. If you were having trouble with your phone, or if you
Ian doesn't understand emotions well.
Right. No, I got family that are hurting.
Yeah, that's tough. Okay, so you were just calling to share.
Wanted to mention, at the Brown Convention Center, they have refugees going there, and basically, what the city's doing, they're kind of confiscating their guns with open carry laws in Texas. They aren't allowed to do that. In a natural disaster, they're allowed to provide uses for them, but they can't just confiscate them or bar your entry to the facility because of that. Another thing, Joel Osteen.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Joel Osteen's like a minister down here.
Yes.
He hasn't opened up his church for people.
He has not opened up his church.
Yeah, as I understand it, the church got shut down, and people are in need. Churches are supposed to be organizations for people in need. I don't know the specifics on this.
This is a mega church, right?
Heard the accusation.
I heard it was a mega church, which means they have a lot of space. It's a big facility.
Right, and he's a real POS for not doing that.
Wow. So so this hit where you live pretty hard? I mean, is it flooded where you're calling from? What do you...
Yeah, well, I'm flooded in East Texas, but Houston's real bad, man. 100 years, no one's seen it before.
Wow.
Yeah, it's real bad. I never even imagined that somebody should be ready with boats to help people in Texas. I mean, it never even crossed my mind. When I think of hurricanes, I usually just think of some rain.
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty uncommon in my life that hurricanes have turned into disasters. So
I remember one time where people were like canoeing around the streets of my neighborhood in Florida.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago, but it did happen.
But I mean, imagine that your house was level with the street, unlike how it was in your neighborhood. And that was going on.
11 trillion gallons have fallen of rain. 9 trillion in Harris County alone. So it's pretty bad. But also, the mayor downplayed kind of the evacuation early on, telling people it was fake news.
So the mayor told people that the news about an evacuation wasn't real?
Right. He was like, well, it's fake news. It's not going to be that bad.
I see.
And it was. So that's thanks to Mayor Turner. But
and what mayor was that person a town
City
of?
of Houston.
Or a mayor? What town was that person mayor? Gotcha.
The City of Houston. Yeah. Well, I just want to give you all an update. Sorry to get all emotional.
No, you don't have to be. You don't have to apologize. I just didn't know what was happening. I thought we were having a problem with the phone, and I'm like, oh wait, no, he's having a tough time. I'm glad you're okay. Things could probably be worse. You could be one of those elderly people in that nursing home. That it looked like just a horrifying
what do you
situation.
think people could do, conceivably, if one is not
from
in
the outside? You mean?
Yeah, not in the immediate vicinity. I heard about this, and then I'm like, well, I don't know what one could do.
Apparently, give to the Cajun Navy.
Do they have
Cajun
a website?
Navy, donate blood. I'm sure they do. There's a lot of organizations out there now. GHCF.org is the city site where if you want to donate, the city is going to, I guess, be a steward of that. But Cajun Navy's good. Donate blood. Things like that.
Okay.
Rusty, if anything else happens you want to share, don't hesitate to call us up and let us know.
We're interested in this topic.
Yeah, I apologize for any insensitivity.
No biggie, man. It's no biggie.
I just never heard somebody respond to a situation like. I mean, all the experience I've ever had with hurricanes have never been
I don't
that serious.
think you've lived through a bad hurricane.
No, he hasn't. Well, there have only been a few bad hurricanes in our lives.
I've had them strike close, but not quite.
But Ian, the things that they call a 75-mile-an-hour storm a hurricane.
That's a tropical. I thought it was tropical. That's
tropical depression.
Storm?
Tropical storm ends at 74.
Okay.
I think a tropical depression ends at 49.
Yeah, and this was a class 4, category 4.
Right. This is what we call a real hurricane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cat 4 is bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Cat 4s and Cat 5s are real hurricanes.
No, I understand that.
That's what happened with Andrew. That's what happened with Katrina was a flooding issue, and as was this. There's no storm that's ever hit America in my lifetime that has dropped as much water as this dropped.
Is that right?
It didn't shove the water the way that Katrina shoved the water.
Mm-hmm.
Katrina hit a place that is built under sea level, and I don't understand why they did that in the first place.
Because government.
Right. But nonetheless, this thing dropped water and just kept dropping it. It's amazing.
Wow. Hey, Rusty, good luck, man. Thanks for the call tonight. Appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Let's continue here. We've got Ricky. He's in Pennsylvania. Ricky, go ahead. You're on Skype.
That would be the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania there, Brother Ian. And you know what? I heard what you said earlier, and I totally agree. I'm going to get in that. Brother Mark and, of course, Sister Melanie. Following up on things. I haven't been calling in the past couple of days. I had things to deal with because I had some issues.
We don't need to know about that.
I had one today, in fact. People. And I didn't say anything. Now, the fact that I'm a Democratic Republican is far from a secret campaigning, especially in areas that aren't too far from where I live, I had that today.
You had what today?
Well, I was wrongfully socially profiled. And you know
By
what?
whom?
I got a ton of crap.
Who profiled you?
I went into my bank, right?
Uh-huh.
Went to my bank to make a withdrawal, right?
Okay.
That was just the beginning. There was things, I can't get into all of them. 3 different incidents happened, but I used the bank. This is the worst one. I go into the bank and, I'm just wearing my long coat like I always do, my black duster, my hat is present whenever I go out, obviously.
So you look like a bank robber.
No, not quite, or something else.
Generally, banks don't like it when you wear hats into the bank, so we'll get to the rest of your story. Hang on, Ricky. He's got a duster and a hat on. Isn't a duster kind of like a trench coat?
Shotgun.
Isn't a duster something you could like carry a gun in?
Yes, you could. Duster's like a trench coat,
like a trench
lighter.
coat. Right. More coming up here in moments. 855-450 free, like freedom. 855-450-3733. You can take control of the airwaves. This is Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin Cash is on fire. It has rocketed past old Bitcoin, and many predict it can only go up from here. There is only one place that I know of to mine Bitcoin Cash, and that's pool.bitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com is the only place for all things Bitcoin. Wallets, news, forums, games, for the beginners to the expert, Bitcoin.com has all you need. It's the only place on the internet that you can mine Bitcoin Cash. Check them out today, pool.bitcoin.com. You don't want to be kicking yourself in a year wishing you'd made an affordable investment in Bitcoin. Pool.bitcoin.com.
This is Ed Lukasevic.
And Cindy Lukasevic at Dinovite.
This year, whenever you order a 90-day supply of Dinovite for your dog, we'll send you a free sample of one of the other doggy things we make.
Like Lico Chaps, Super Mega Fish Oil, or Doggo Suds Shampoo.
What's on your dog's wish list?
We'll offer a different freebie each week at Dinovite.com.
Don't you just love the sound of healthy, happy dogs?
Dinovite is nutrition.
Dinovite for life.
DINOVITE.com.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
You may already know about the Free Talk Live audio-on-demand phone line at 641-793-9660. Did you know that not only can you listen to Free Talk Live via your phone, you can also leave a message and have it delivered to Free Talk Live's hosts? To leave us your thoughts, just dial 641-793-9660. That's 641-793-9660. Press 2 for Free Talk Live, and then hit 0 to leave your message.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keenan, the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, August 28th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.23 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,297 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 4.1 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,327. Antiwar.com reports alongside announcing the escalations of U.S. wars in Iraq and Syria, the Pentagon was given the decision of whether or not to inform the public about those troop levels. Unsurprisingly, this has so far meant no announcements at all. President Trump followed that up with an announced escalation in Afghanistan last week and once again insisted that exact troop levels would be secret from now on because he does not want the enemy to know. In both cases, concern about public oversight has been dismissed by officials, but not by non-government organizations, with analysts increasingly concerned that the Pentagon is setting its own troop levels, and apart from negotiating with foreign governments, the American public is being kept totally in the dark on the final decisions. This, in many cases, is a convenience for the Pentagon. The 8,400 troops officially in Afghanistan on the day of Trump's announcement was actually more like 12,000. The cap on troops in Iraq was already far exceeded before the escalation there as well. Not making those figures public both prevents public debate on wars that are increasingly out of control and makes negotiations with the foreign states hosting them easier, as is the case in Iraq. Prime Minister Abadi faces an election next year, and revealing how many troops he's allowed in would be a political embarrassment, the sort that might have him blocking further escalations. Instead, the troop levels are secret and no one is the wiser. This means that officials can try to skirt the very real ramifications of their overseas deployments by simply not telling anyone how many troops are involved. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports thousands of people descended upon Berkeley, California on Sunday for a rally against hate in response to planned right-wing protests leading to violent skirmishes and several arrests. At least 14 people were arrested at Berkeley's Civic Center Park for violating protest rules by covering their faces or carrying items banned by authorities. Before the weekend rallies and protests took place, Berkeley police made several efforts to ensure the peaceful expression of free speech, including the prohibition of sticks, pipes, poles, and anything else that can be used for a riot. Police also said that anything that covers or partially covers the face and shields the wearer's face from view or partially from view is prohibited. Several violent incidents, including assaults on protesters, were reported throughout the day. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports Tropical Storm Harvey was set to dump more rain on Houston on Monday, worsening flooding that has already paralyzed the country's fourth largest city, forced thousands to flee surrounding counties, and swelled rivers to levels not seen in centuries. Harvey, the most powerful hurricane to hit Texas in more than 50 years, first hit land late on Friday and has killed at least 2 people. It has since stayed around the Texas Gulf Coast, where it is forecast to remain for several more days, drenching parts of the region with a year's worth of rain in the span of a week. Schools, airports, and office buildings in Houston were ordered shut down on Monday as scores of roads turned into rivers and chest-high water-filled neighborhoods in the low-lying city that is home to more than 2.3 million people. Torrential rain also hit areas more than 150 miles away, swelling rivers upstream and causing a surge that was headed towards the Houston area, where numerous bayous have already been breached. More flooding is expected as water levels continue to rise, putting more residents at risk. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers said they were planning to release water from 2 nearby reservoirs into Buffalo Bayou, the primary body of water running through Houston. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
In local news, 23-year-old graffiti artist Adam Zane has captured the heart of 19-year-old college sophomore Jessica Tisselow. Zane, who goes by the graffiti handle Slice, met Tisselow last summer at an annoyingly self-aware dive bar where the talentless artist caught Tisselow's eye with his cliched sleeve tattoos of trite Japanese imagery and the fact that he was wearing a winter hat indoors in the middle of June.
His art is really just the absolute worst. I think we're going to get married someday.
And now for This Week in Tech, brought to you by LG. An excited groom sends text messages to his buddies during his bride's vows, and a collection of VHS tapes are held onto for 1 more year. In other news, a burglar makes sure to crack the glass on a family portrait before leaving. There's nothing in the employee handbook about groping dead co-workers, an employee says, and a report finds that nobody's heard from David Blaine in a while, so somebody should probably check to see if he died in one of those things. Mere seconds have passed, yet we feel as though we've known you 1,000 lifetimes. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live, and we're launching into the second hour of the program. Still to come here tonight, we've got the price gouging story, Mark, that you wanted to tell us. We were just talking about the hurricane down in Houston, or the that area of Texas. Tremendous flooding, according to one of our last callers. You're welcome to join us here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom, 855-450-3733. With you tonight, you've got Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
Back to Ricky. He was just telling us about something that happened to him in the bank recently. You'd said that you had gone in today. You'd gone in with a duster and a hat on of some sort.
All right, I got my wide brim hat that I always have on, of course, for obvious reasons.
No, this was in Philadelphia?
No, Northeast PA. I'm about 3 hours.
So like
I'm more
Scranton?
than that. Yeah, I'm like 3.5 from Philly. No. More towards. I was in Monroe County.
Small town? Is this a small town?
Where this happened. Yeah, it's a town trying to be a city, and this fails at both. I don't live there.
Okay.
Now, what happened is.
Were you also wearing sunglasses when you entered the bank?
No.
Okay, got it. So hat, duster, no glasses. Go ahead.
Right. Now, nothing weird. Anyways.
How
what
often do you
happened
enter
is-
this bank wearing this hat?
What's that?
How often do you enter this bank wearing this hat?
Always.
All right, fair enough.
But that's not an answer to the
That
question.
specific meaning that you understand all too well, Mark.
If you did it once, then you always did it. How often do
I
you
never
do
take
it?
my hat off when I'm in public.
You've been to this bank before, though.
Absolutely. It's my bank.
All right.
Okay.
Now,
So what happened?
Okay. Now, not to move on. Oh, quick point. Sheriff Joe, this is why that happened. Trump did that. It's no surprise.
Let's
It's
not
the
get distracted. Keep focused
we're not.
on
He
the
did it to
subject
piss
here.
off the
Tell us
Latino.
about
We can
Sheriff
do
Joe
Sheriff
next
Joe
time.
any old time. Now, you tell me what
We
happened
will
at the
next
bank.
call. Okay, here's what happened. I'm sorry about that. I go in there. I do my business, do my banking business. I had to make a withdrawal, whatnot. And I had a question, and he said, I'll help you to help this. So I go over there, and I asked him a simple question, very simple. I said, now, I'm expecting, something in the future. I said, now, as far as some money coming in possibly. So I want to know, now, if there's a civil war, okay, question, how's the bank set up for that, to do my banking business and whatnot?
You
And
asked a teller what the bank's policy was during a civil war?
No, I don't mean that. I mean, can I do my banking business? Is there going to be problems? I'm sure you got different accounts of different people.
Who did you ask? Was it a teller or was it one of the customer service agents?
No, it was at the help desk.
The help desk, okay. And you said, I'm just curious.
So of course this is going to cause problems. You realize this, right?
No.
Oh, no, not at all.
Why would it cause a problem? It's just a crazy man asking about what the bank's policy is during a civil
When you open a
war.
checking account, they ask you if you're a terrorist. It's a bank. They're paranoid. You can't go asking
true.
about what they're going to do during a war.
I don't think that suggests that he's going to start the war or that he was going to.
It does to a bank. It might not to a reasonable human being, but we have to realize that we're dealing with a bank.
Ricky, I want to thank you 2 times. First, I want to thank you for asking the teller what to do in a case of a civil war. And second, I want to thank you for calling in and telling us
But that
about
wasn't
it.
it. There was more. You didn't hear the
Yeah,
best
let's hear the rest. Go ahead.
Okay, let me finish it up. Okay, so what happens is they ask around. There's nobody. And the manager, 'cause nobody knew the answer. And the manager's out on lunch, and I had to leave. So I'm ready to leave. And all of a sudden, somebody comes behind me and says, hey, you. I said, excuse me, who is that? Look, I can't see him. Who is behind me? And it's Ricky. I'm like, I said, who is it? It's Joe. I said, hey, how you doing, Joe? What's up? I said, there'll be no Civil War talk here. I said, what are you talking about? What's the problem with that? I have no clue. And I know what this is about. I had a run-in with this guy. If you remember, I think it was maybe 2 years ago. I had an issue with the same guy, and here it was his boss actually gave him the brilliant idea when it came to me open carrying in the bank if I chose to do so.
Okay, so let me see if I'm following you, because sometimes it's very difficult to follow you on what you're saying.
It's the
so
same
let me
guy.
see if I've
It's
got
the
this
same guy.
straight.
He pulled
hold on.
me then.
You're saying that the employees asked around about your question about what about a civil war. Then some guy says your name from behind you. You weren't sure who it was, but then you figured out it was this guy Joe. Does this guy work at the bank?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's basically the garbage man there. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
He takes care of the
He's
garbage?
the janitor?
No, he handles delinquent accounts and stuff. He's
That kind of garbage. Okay, gotcha.
Right. So basically, the end of the story is what happened is there is a good ending to this. So he grabs a hold of my arm. Luckily, I'm not Antifa, and I'm just me. That's no problem. He wants me to go outside. I said, I'll do what I want. This is a real problem here. I was leaving anyways. The fact of the matter
Why did he
is,
escort you out of the bank? Did he feel like you were making a scene?
Oh, no, he didn't do that because he didn't get to escort me out of the bank because I punked him out and forced him in his own office with his tail on his legs. I was going to leave. So what then happened, the communications officer came out, talked to me, and We went past that there. And what it was is he didn't see any of this. He was upstairs. They couldn't find him. So what it came out to at the end of the day is he didn't see any of this. The girls told me that he's not saying anything. That's a general question. This is banking business. He's saying that that's not banking business, what I'm talking about. And it definitely was.
What was did they finally give you an answer?
Actually, it did. He was able to. I didn't even need the manager because he's even higher than her. He gave me the answer.
What is the answer? What's the answer?
Well, I found out that they have all this stuff not at that location, all the accounts and all that on a backup that's out. I don't know if I caught us off the grid or whatnot at another location. They got that.
There you go. So they've got the accounts backed up. So in case the Civil War bombs out the inside of that branch of the bank
in Northeast Pennsylvania,
then they have another one somewhere else. Thank you for the call, Ricky. I appreciate it. Boy, now we are all better off knowing that the banks have backups.
Now, see, if the insurgency wins, though, banks being subsidiaries of the United States federal government, specifically of the Federal Reserve, that institution won't exist anymore to give you your deposits back. So there's that.
You'll have your money on deposit in some form or another. They'll, they'll have some kind of continuity.
Well, I mean, Melanie does bring up the point that the banks do kind of exist at the pleasure of the whole Federal Reserve system, and it does raise the question of, what would happen if the Federal Reserve went away?
It would be a terrible idea if you were to create a new nation, and that new nation had some kind of central banking system with fiat currency, and you didn't match the currency of the people in that bank.
Oh, okay, yeah. So if you set up a almost identical government, then yeah, it'll probably be somewhat seamless. But then that kind of defeats the point of fighting a civil war.
If you didn't destroy the government in total, the U.S. government wasn't destroyed in total, which seems highly unlikely, and just Northeast Pennsylvania goes, secedes or whatever. I'm not entirely sure what Ricky imagines is going to happen, so I can't come up to with a
Well,
scenario.
didn't Ricky think it was going to be a race war? In which case, you're not talking about a government fighting a government or whatever.
I don't know that Ricky said that. I don't
No, I'm thinking about previous calls of Ricky's.
I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like Ricky's talked about a race war in the past.
If it's just one...
would that be a civil war? Or does it have to be governments fighting governments? Or is it just anybody within a country, any two groups within a country?
If you have a separatist movement of some sort, then you have a civil war. If you have people fighting each other, it's a civil war. Civil war is a war inside of a country.
That's what I thought, yeah.
So, yes.
So civil war doesn't necessarily mean the Federal Reserve itself would be in jeopardy.
Well, if the United States government still exists, then the bank would still have deposits in Federal Reserve notes.
Yeah.
And even if the bank is now on foreign soil, it could still pay out in Federal Reserve notes.
It could, that's for sure. Let's talk to get our dose of bigotry for the day from Scott in Massachusetts. You're on Free Talk Live.
Good evening, Ian, Melanie, and Mark. How are you?
Hello, Scott. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, what's on my mind, first of all, did you hear me on Alex Jones?
I don't listen to other radio shows. I don't even listen to this show often as I should.
All right. Well, he agreed with me that the Jews do control tremendous power, but I just didn't call about the Jews tonight.
Does that mean that he's in control? Does that mean that the Jews control Alex Jones?
Well, they control all the media in this country.
So what's the point of even calling? I mean, if the Jews are in control of Alex Jones...
Well, why are they letting you talk?
Hold on, Scott. We'll let you answer that question here in a moment.
Apparently they're not.
The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You can take control of the airwaves. You can bring up whatever's on your mind here on Free Talk Live. Still to come, the so-called price gouging going on in Texas. Take control of the airwaves. Free Talk Live.
Message and data rates may apply.
Attention, it is illegal to text and drive. So if you're experiencing hair loss and you want a permanent solution, please pull over now, because an incredible offer that could give you your hair back is just one text away. Bosley is America's #1 hair restoration expert, always pioneering the latest technology. And now, we're giving everyone who texts EASY77 to 543-543 an absolutely free information kit that reveals just how easy and affordable this permanent solution really is. Don't wait. When you text EASY77 to 543-543, we'll also give you a gift card for $250 off. Millions of men and women have come to Bosley for a permanent solution to hair loss. So pull over now and see for yourself how great your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit. Text EASY77 to 543-543. Plus, get a free gift card. This amazing offer is just one text away. EASY77 to 543-543.
BuySellMakeOffer.com is better than ever. I'm Pat Matthews here to tell you that BuySellMakeOffer.com, the revolutionary site for buying and selling anything and everything, just upped the ante. Go right now to BuySellMakeOffer.com and click the Sign Me Up button. When you do, you'll get the first month free, and then it's just $9.95 a month to be a member forever. And you don't need a credit card for the initial setup. Create your own store on the site and sell whatever you want, as long as it's legal, however you want, and sell an unlimited number of items. Create your own intro video to describe what your store is all about. Use Skype to see who you're buying from or selling to. Sell unused household items, as well as antiques, cars, televisions, collectibles, real estate. The possibilities are unlimited. Use social networks to promote your store right from our site. Remember, there are never any fees no matter how much you sell. Become a member today. I'm a member. Get all your friends to sign up too. This could become a great business for you. Sell whatever you want for the first 30 days free at BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
There's no better app for tracking the value of cryptocurrencies than CoinCap. I've had a lot of apps for tracking Bitcoin, but none that's ever been able to track 500 digital assets at once. Their best feature is the Altfolio. I love this thing. You enter how many Bitcoins, Ether, Dash, Doge, or whatever else you have, and it tells you how much your crypto is worth. You can watch yourself get rich. If you have crypto, go right now to coincap.io, or you can use the Apple Store or Google Play to get the app. I love CoinCap. Coincap.io.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. We invite you to join us on the radio. Here you can take control of the airwaves at 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And we've got Skype as well. The Skype username is LRN.FM.
Bulletblocker.com. It's a website that was set up by a former Army Ranger and a firearms instructor with the goal of making backpacks to protect kids in the case of school shootings. And now they have a huge selection of clothing, backpacks, briefcases that could all save your life. The products are attractive, well made right here in the U.S., and you've got to have a nice jacket. You might as well have one that stops bullets, too. Get something for the whole family. They're airport security friendly. International shipping is available. The thinnest and lightest ballistic available on today's market. It's very flexible and concealable. And this isn't the kind of thing you get a second chance at. So bulletblocker.com. If the lives in your family are priceless, protect them at bulletblocker.com.
All right, we go back to Scott, the bigot in Massachusetts. All right, Scott, what were you calling about tonight?
Well, I was going to talk about Hurricane Harvey. I feel very badly for the people in
Were the Jews behind that too?
No, the Jews are not behind that.
No, but you said they're behind all of the media, though.
Oh, there's no question
about it.
Well,
the hurricane isn't part of the media.
Yeah, but he believes the Jews are behind everything.
No, the Jews control the media. But anyway...
Do they control the weather, though?
He's already said no.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
But Hurricane Harvey, and then you had 12 years ago, not very long ago, Hurricane Katrina that hit New Orleans. The point I'm making is that there's been so many numerous hurricanes, tornadoes, other natural disasters hitting the United States. It's more than just coincidence. The point I'm making is the end times for America are here.
Oh, really?
God hates America. And the reason why God hates America is for its abortion, homosexuality, pornography.
So wait a minute.
They don't have that anywhere else.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you do know that hurricanes and like earthquakes and things like that, and typhoons and those things happen
Well, so
all
does
around.
abortion and gay people and pornography.
So, I mean, are you sure, Scott, that hurricanes are hitting the United States more often than the rest of the world? Because I don't think there's any real evidence for that, is there?
Well, the terrorism hits the rest of the world. This world has had it. It's going to, in the next, I would predict in the next 20 years, 30 years at most, hopefully Jesus Christ will come to earth. Yeah, I'm not saying this is a joke. I'm serious. I believe this.
You know, wasn't he Jewish?
What?
Wasn't
Jesus Christ? I would like to say no. But
according to every historical record, religious and otherwise, says yes. So it's you against all that.
Just a minor detail there, Scott. I mean, doesn't that bother you?
Yes, it does.
Are you anti-Jesus now?
I'd like to say that I have to believe in something. So I do believe that Jesus will be coming back to earth. And
what do you think he's going to think about a guy who is like you, who doesn't even like people just because of where they were born or what religion they have?
He'll curse me. He'll damn me. I'm a man like anyone else. I've sinned. And the difference between me and myself and others is I'm not a hypocrite. Other people say one thing and they do another. I've sinned. Every human being, even the Pope has sinned. Every human being has sinned. A lot of that happened in my life was forced on me. You may say, well, you made a choice, but that's easier said than done. I do blame the Jews for stealing my money, $190,000. I'll always blame them.
Well, I mean, why do you have to blame all the Jews? Can't you just blame like Janet Yellen and be done with it?
I blame international Jewish bankers, but I wanted to get back to this Hurricane Harvey. So America's cursed and damned through abortion, primarily abortion and homosexuality, perversion, selfishness, cruelty, greed, obesity,
what about
diabetes.
Hatred? Why not include hatred in all of those curses?
Yes, hatred too, prejudice.
Yeah. So you're part of the problem. So you at least can admit that you're part of the problem then.
Yes.
Yeah.
No question. I'm like I told you, I'm a human being. I'm a man.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean just because you're a human being doesn't mean that you can't try to change yourself. That you can't try to improve how you believe about the world around you and the other human beings around you, rather than just constantly spawning hatred towards them. I mean, you can admit, it seems, that that's part of the problem. So you could choose to be part of the solution and try, connecting with human beings who look different than you and finding out that they're actually not that different from you after all, and that there really was no rational basis for you to hate them besides whatever reasons, somebody lied to you about once upon a time.
I mean, do you think that regular Jews get messed over by the Federal Reserve too?
Yes. But
so then why not just hate central banks?
Let me rephrase that. Let's talk about international Jews. And
what
when
the
I mean
hell is an international Jew?
You've asked him a million times.
There's a difference. Referring to people like the Rothschilds.
But that's
big money people.
Goldman Sachs.
You mean big money?
Like
isn't an
That's
answer.
Right.
It's
That's
not a
right.
definition.
There's a difference between them and a rabbi who runs a congregation.
Look, if I ask you what a bigot is, and Ian says somebody like Scott, that's not a definition to the answer. A definition to what a bigot is. It is pointing to a bigot.
It sounds like he's saying Jews with a lot of money are international.
Is that
Jews.
what an international Jew is? A Jew with a lot of money?
Yes.
How
not
much?
More than that.
How much
they
money?
Control. They not only money, they have the power.
Okay,
they have
power.
Tremendous power.
Okay.
For example, Lloyd Blankfein, who controls Goldman Sachs, is an international Jew.
Okay.
Another international Jew is Steven Spielberg.
Look, I know you have these sitting by the phone, and you're just ready with a list of Jews you dislike. But that's not an answer to what an international Jew is. Now, Steven Spielberg.
An international Jew is a Jew that has influence all over the world, like the Rothschilds, whether in America, Europe, Asia. They control their power knows no boundaries. It knows no countries. It knows no time zones. And
so do you have a similar problem with wealthy, powerful Christians?
Yes, there are wealthy, powerful Christians, but they do not wield the kind of power that the international Jews control. Henry Ford made that very clear when he had the International Jew. He published it in the early 1920s. And also the Protocols of the Elders of Zion prove that there is absolutely a world Jewish plot, a plot to control the world.
Well, it alleges that there is a
and
world
it's
Jewish
pretty roundly
plot to
dismissed
control
as a hoax by just about everybody. But
No, I knew
if
you
you
were going
believe
to
in the
say that.
Bible and believe Jesus is going to come back in clouds, there's nothing I'm going to tell you that is going to dismiss that what you believe about the learned elders of Zion.
That's not a forgery. That's authentic, and the reason why it's authentic. Henry Ford said it was authentic. He was a genius, and Adolf Hitler and
So
Mein
no
Kampf.
geniuses lie? Stalin was a genius too.
Lie or tell the truth. Genius is a person who's right 55% of the time.
Well,
that's
why they're genius. That's why they're geniuses.
Right. So that's not no guarantee.
Isn't
that
there
Henry
a problem like basing an entire belief system about somebody who was born a certain way or has a particular religious belief on somebody who told you something? I mean, that's what you're basing it on? Some book or a couple of books that you picked up at some point in your life? I mean, what about actual experience? What about, connecting with people and talking with them and actually trying to understand them? You've admitted on multiple occasions you don't do that you've never actually sat down and talked to a black person or a woman or all of the people that you hate.
No.
Never sat down and had a conversation with a Jewish person.
No, I don't. Other
well,
than
then how can anyone ever take you seriously? Thank you for the call tonight. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom, and I'm not suggesting that anyone does take him seriously. This is Free Talk Live.
Welcome aboard. Your new science fiction adventure is ready to launch. Discover an amazing journey at GalaxyQuestBooks.com. Start a new sci-fi adventure with the Guardian series, a classic sci-fi mystery that starts 500 years in the future. From author D. Arthur Gussner. Series available from Barnes & Noble or Amazon as paperback or ebooks. GalaxyQuestBooks.com, where the adventure begins.
Ralph, remember when you said you were going to start paying more attention to your health and now you're eating potato chips?
Just a few.
A few, okay, but you should be eating Super Berries Aronia berries.
Aroni what?
Aronia berries from superberries.com. They're known for having one of the highest levels of antioxidants that helps with overall wellness. Go to superberries.com/radio. And right now we get a free smoothie recipe book with our order. Plus we can save $4 at checkout.
Wow, look at all the benefits of these berries.
I know, Ralph, I know.
Choose health. Eat purple. Superberries.com.
The warning signs.
At first, he made me feel special. He promised he'd look after me, provide for my future. He broke every promise he made.
Millions of Americans afflicted.
I was ready to leave, but he told me he'd change. So I gave him another chance. I was such a fool.
The consequences.
Things only got worse. He started making my decisions for me, about my job, my kids' education, my money, my safety, my future. He took away my choices, but I kept going back to the same politicians.
The diagnosis? Battered voter syndrome.
I fell for the same old lies. They were just playing with my emotions, telling me what I wanted to hear. That's not right.
If you're tired of the two-party system but want to support a principled Libertarian Party, check out the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire at lpnh.org. That's lpnh.org.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Free Talk Live has partnered with Amazon, the largest internet retailer. Imagine a department store category, and Amazon has it. Books, electronics, office products, furniture, jewelry, automotive, toys, clothing, sporting goods, and dozens of other categories. Now you can shop and support Free Talk Live by entering Amazon through our website. Go to shop.freetalklive.com, and Amazon will send us a portion of your purchase. You're going to do the shopping anyway, so remember to enter through our site at shop.freetalklive.com. That's shop.freetalklive.com. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial toll-free, take control of the airwaves at 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype, and the Skype username here is lrn.fm. Joining you in the studio tonight, you've got Ian.
Melanie.
And Mark.
And, of course, you can bring up anything. Also, I do want to let you know about Melanie's tax services that she has available to you, and also bookkeeping services. She's hanging out her shingle coming up for the 2018 tax season. But if you're going to be doing taxes and you got a business or you got a bunch of complicated stuff that you need somebody to handle, Melanie's the right person for it because she hates the state, unlike a lot of accountants who they know the state is their bread and butter, and so they, don't really want to do anything to harm the state. Melanie would push the red button to eliminate the state tomorrow, I think. I mean, I'm speculating.
Yeah, I would push the red button however I had to push it.
Right. Which means she will be on your side when it comes to maximizing what you can keep for yourself rather than giving it to the terrible state agents. If you want to get in touch with Melanie to find out more about her services, she's got a website. We've got a handy link that'll get you right to it over at tax.freetalklive.com. So I heard rumor that at least one of our listeners has already contacted you and has signed up as a client, which is very exciting.
Yes.
And so, again, you start preparing for your taxes in 2018, in 2017, and Melanie knows the things that you need to do to be the most effective at that. Is that right?
Yeah, so if either you have a small business or you have some complicated stuff going on, you may have some deadlines of what you have to do before the end of the year in order to kind of have the least amount of money stolen from you.
Right, and if they don't contact you ahead of time,
to let
then
you know,
you're just going to have to tell them in February, oh, sorry, I can't help you.
Do it differently next year, yeah.
So if you want to reach out to Melanie and find out how she can help you with your taxes, just get in touch with her through tax.freetalklive.com. That's tax.freetalklive.com. And we never really thought we'd have to make that subdomain, but
no.
But there it is.
I'm uncomfortable with it, but what are you going to do? It's the best subdomain.
It's memorable.
People can spell it.
Yep.
They can't
it's
sell
short.
it. Yeah.
So tax.freetalklive.com. Reach out directly to Melanie through her website, which will take you there at tax.freetalklive.com. All right, you take control of the airwaves here. Coming up, Mark's going to tell us about the ostensible price gouging, or so-called price gouging, going on in Texas after and during the hurricane. That's coming up. Your calls and thoughts are also welcome. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And, of course, you can bring up anything also on Skype at Skype username lrn.fm. We go to Tom. He's in Fort Mojave, Arizona, I believe listening to K-Talks. Hello, Tom.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
How's everybody doing?
Fantastic. You just go right ahead, Tom. What's on your mind?
Well, that last guy you had on there,
Yeah.
that's a good reason for that.
A good reason for war?
Did you well, you were talking to him. I mean, he was the reason for the Jews being hated.
He's the reason for the Jews being hated? Is that what you said?
Well, you're misunderstanding. You're misunderstanding.
I am. I'm not trying to misunderstand. I'm trying to understand. That's why I'm asking for clarification. What are you trying to get at here?
Well, all the hatred that he was spewing out.
Yeah.
You know, hating. I don't even know what a mainline Jew is. I really don't. I have a friend of mine that would have been very, very upset with that one, and she's Jewish.
Understandably so. I mean, he says some very distasteful and despicable things.
Well, he did. I mean, you know, being upset because Jesus was a Jew. What was that? Everybody knows
it seems strange, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I mean, anybody that reads the Bible or
right.
watches.
He ostensibly is a Christian. I mean, he described himself, or at least has described himself as a Christian.
He sounded like he was waiting for Jesus to return in the clouds, right?
Yeah. If he is a Christian, he's a good reason for me not being one.
There you go. I think you're right about that. I mean, Christians, some of the Christians out there are really big turnoffs to the people who might otherwise consider joining their religion, just because they just seem so hateful. They seem so un-Christ-like in their ways. I mean, Christ wouldn't hate people like that guy does.
No. I mean, yes, it says in the Bible an eye for an eye. But like my wife keeps telling me, an eye for an eye. Well, that's Jesus' doings. He's the one that can do the eye for an eye. Nobody else.
Did Jesus ever preach that? I don't feel like. I mean, that doesn't.
That was Abrahamic law or something.
Like Hammurabi.
Yeah, that was in the Old
Hammurabi
Testament, but he did kind of incorporate by adoption the entire old law a couple of times. He said he didn't come to abolish it, so you could argue that he did.
Yeah, that was in the Old Testament. You're right. But I mean, I don't understand how this guy can sit there and actually say the stuff that come out of his mouth and believe it, and then say he's a Christian. How do you do that?
I don't know, man. That's bewildering to me as well.
And so how I look at it is, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, they're not. I don't look at them as religions as much as I look at them as genres of religion. Telling me you're a Christian is like I ask you what city you live in and you tell me Europe.
Yeah, you got to prove you're a Christian,
There's
right?
entirely different religions under the umbrella of Christian. The religion that my boyfriend is, he worships in a completely different God than some of the people
but he's a
who
Christian,
I've met in this. Yeah,
right? Self-described.
Yeah, than some of the people I've met in the South. It's an entirely there's several religions under the umbrella term Christian. That's not.
Absolutely, and it's everybody's own doing. I mean, you want to be a Christian, that's up to you. You want to be an atheist, that's up to you.
Good call tonight, Tom. I appreciate hearing from you. Thank you for making it. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. I can't disagree with anything he said. I mean, Scott the Bigot
sounds like you should.
Is so confusing and bewildering as to how anybody could think that way, but he's not. He's not alone. There are people like Scott the Bigot out there in the world, although he's alone personally, because the only person who will tolerate him is his own mother at this point, besides the fact that we take his calls.
Humans, he illustrates that humans do often hold dichotomous viewpoints at sort of the same time.
That they don't even realize.
Right. So they can simultaneously believe two exclusive things.
Yep, that's true. Like, and it's confusing.
Jews are bad, but no, they're international Jews or something. I don't know.
And they love and the same person loves Jesus at the same time.
Who would be Jewish, yeah.
The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom. Let's continue here. Mark, let's talk about the price gouging, as it is being called, or as some others might put it, just market pricing in a situation where supplies are scarce.
Right. So I saw on Facebook different pictures of prices being higher in southeastern Texas right now. I saw gallons of gas going for $8.76.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the cases of water going for $20, $25.
I saw one 42 for a 24 pack.
72 for some 24 pack or whatever.
$2 a bottle.
And out of all that information comes this CNBC article. Price gouging during Hurricane Harvey up to $99 for a case of water, Texas Attorney General says. There have been more than 500 complaints about price gouging during Hurricane Harvey over the weekend. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton said this includes reports of up to $99 for a case of water, hotels that are tripling or quadrupling their prices, and fuel at $4 to $10 a gallon. There have already been more than 500 complaints. So those are the little key points at the top of the article, but it just sort of goes on here. These are things that
Texas must be one of those places where they have anti-gouging laws, is the idea?
According to Paxton, these are things you can't do in Texas. There are significant penalties if you price gouge in a crisis like this.
So much for Texas and its business freedoms. We'll tell you about more about this coming up. Mark, you've got the rest of the story.
Yeah.
And you want to call in and share how you feel about so-called price gouging, because I think a lot of libertarians would say this is just the market at work, and it should be allowed to work this way. And we'll, I guess, talk about why it should coming up here in moments. And you can share your thoughts as well. 855-450, free like freedom. Free Talk Live.
If you're an unincorporated business owner, it's too late for you. That is, if you've already been sued and lost your home, your car, and your personal life savings. But if you haven't been sued yet, there is still time to incorporate and protect your personal assets. And the first step is just a phone call away, because Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation toolkit to all business owners, including exclusive information on how to start and grow your business. For your free incorporation toolkit, call now 1-800-940-9829. Incorporation is the shield that protects your personal assets. Without it, you could lose everything. That's why at Incorporate.com, they just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. They don't provide legal or financial advice. If someone sues tomorrow, will you lose everything? Don't wait until it's too late. Call now for your free incorporation toolkit. Hurry, they're still giving them away for free at 1-800-940-9829. Call 1-800-940-9829. That's 1-800-940-9829.
Do you trust our economy? How about our banking system? Our president has stated we are sitting on a bubble right now, and that when the Fed raises interest rates, bad things are going to happen. Well, the Fed is raising rates here and now. There has never been a better time to turn your IRA or 401k into physical gold or silver with GSI Exchange. Call 833-GSI-GOLD. GSI Exchange can make this happen fast, and it's money you control, not the big banks. 833-GSI-GOLD. Ask about our bank failure survival guide and learn how your qualified IRA transfer can get you $1,500 in free physical gold or silver delivered right to your home. GSI Exchange has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call GSI Exchange at 833-GSI-GOLD. That's 833-474-4653. Or visit us on the web at gsi.gold.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, Buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love. But make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com. Imagine, if you will, a virtual world, a symbiotic economy with its own currency, where you can barter your services with others. Symbi.com is a marketplace of real people exchanging skills and services, from web developers, marketers, video production specialists, and teachers of all sorts, to gaming consulting or fitness coaching. Symbi.com is a vast world of people trading freely. Take my word for it, it's an adventure you can't afford to miss. Simbi.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial toll free and take control of the airwaves. Bring up anything you want. Our number here is 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, 855-450-3733. Tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
Also, you need to know about our website. Just head on over to freetalklive.com and get interactive there. There are a whole bunch of features that you'll find there, and other websites, other talk show hosts will charge you for. We give it all away to you. So you want to go back into the archives, all the way back to as far as 2006. You can easily do that anytime you want over at freetalklive.com. It's an exhaustive archive that literally would exhaust anyone trying to listen to it all. And it's all for free. So head on over to freetalklive.com. As we get back into the story here, Mark, you were giving us a headline from the Houston, Texas area after the devastation of the recent hurricane down there. People are reporting to the Attorney General's office about so-called price gouging. Where's the story from again?
CNBC.
Okay.
So the AG here is on the offensive, talking,
he's going to rescue everyone,
his fist,
these
right?
darn gougers.
Anyone who price gouges can be hit with a $20,000 fine per occurrence.
is that a higher fine than fines usually are?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Sounds
Or up
pretty high.
To $250,000 if the victim is someone over the age of 65.
Wow.
As for whether there will be a shortage of goods, Paxton said...
The victim of price gouging.
That's right.
I love how the idea is there's a victim to somebody who just stopped into a store and saw a price tag and thought, gosh, that's a little more than I'd like to pay, or a lot more than I'd like to pay. That person's been victimized? That's a whole new definition of victim.
They either paid or didn't, right? So who's the victim? Mm-hmm. The person who chose not to pay, or the person who did pay? I don't know. Because it'd be hard to say that somebody who paid is a victim because they chose to do it.
They chose to, yeah.
The person who didn't pay could have decided they were going to go down the road, and that might, maybe they died of dehydration in between the two gas stations. I don't know. I suppose it's possible. But, there you go. That's the situation.
Okay, tell me more.
Anyway, as for whether there will be a shortage of goods, Paxton said the big retailers are in the process of reestablishing supply chains as quickly as they can. Don't worry if you're very, very thirsty. Don't buy that price gouging thing of water, because soon we will have supply chains set back up.
Which is why prices are raised in the first place. Because if you walk in and there's a case of water for $4, like it usually is, somebody's going to be like, oh, let me buy 7. And then there's not going to be any left for all the other people who need it. But if they're $50, he's only going to buy 1 because he knows the price is about to go down as soon as this store, who has people working in a disaster in the first place, gets all their stuff back.
Also, I guess another thing you might think is, how difficult is it to get an employee into work? On a day,
during a disaster,
right? Mm-hmm. Like their home's been washed out or whatever. Maybe you have to raise wages to do that. Look, we'll give you triple time if you come in. How do you pay for triple time?
Raise the prices.
You're just here for philanthropic reasons, so sell everything at the regular price. But my employees are here at triple time because I couldn't get them in otherwise.
So the business owner has to be a philanthropist, but not the employees.
That's the whole idea here, and it seems sort of ill-advised. I think that there's an argument most on the non-price gouger side, the people that would be able to say things like, well, you can sell them a case of water at the normal price, but you only sell one. Now, of course, mom comes in and buys one, then dad comes in and buys one.
Yep.
Each of the kids comes in and buys one, and they try to send the dog in with some money tied around its collar, or whatever they try to do. Look,
limitations don't work.
Well, I mean, it's
There's
a
a
control of
workaround,
the marketplace, and then you're expecting somebody whose house has been destroyed by a natural disaster and is at work at triple time, possibly working 12-hour shifts.
Now has to argue with the customer. You just walked in and walked back out. Like, no, why is that? No, the cashier's not going to pay for that.
So,
Yeah, but what about the poor? I mean, if the water's $50 for a 24-pack, how's somebody who's down on their luck supposed to afford that?
I guess there's a few arguments. They could, say, I really need some water. Can somebody get me some water? And that somebody will.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, they could plan ahead and have some water. I just went to Home Depot. I bought a case of 30 waters for $2.80.
Mm-hmm.
I took them to my jiu-jitsu studio, and I left them there so that other people who didn't have water might have some.
Yeah.
Now, if it had been $28.50, then I wouldn't have bought it.
Right.
But, you could have planned ahead. Now, one could say that their house got washed out and their cases of water went with it. They'd be sealed, and maybe you should get them. I don't know. But planning ahead would be a helpful way to avoid price gouging in the future. What do they tell us in Florida when we were getting ready for hurricanes? They'd say, fill the bathtub, have some water.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have water for lots of different reasons. And water's a good idea. Get it now while it's
good.
Fresh. And when the floods come, it's not going to be. Everything's going to be contaminated. So, do something about it. So there's that argument.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that in a situation where there is very low supply and very high demand, prices are going to go up.
Pricing is the way that the marketplace allocates resources.
Yeah, and it's a natural thing, and that when the government says that the natural raise in prices that inevitably would occur is not allowed to occur, all they're really doing is just punishing the stores, right? Because what's preventing somebody from buying that 24-pack of water at the standard price? So the government comes in and says, okay, you can't sell this 24-pack more than $3 or whatever the regular price is, or there's probably some percentage above the regular price that they'll allow, but not much. So you can't sell this at more than $5. So somebody comes in, they buy it at $5, and then they go out and they sell it at $5 a bottle outside. I mean, how's that going to get enforced on? They don't have a license. Nobody's going to. I mean, if there's some guy selling water on the side of the road, are they subject to the same rules as the the storefronts?
If they could be caught, but it's easier to catch storefronts because they're already there.
They have to stay there. They're in a physical location.
I think that what is misunderstood by people who advocate for this is that the stores will just be closed. The stores
what's their obligation to stay open?
The stores are open right now because they are now no longer regular stores. They are the gouging stores. Okay? Mm-hmm. And if you don't want to get gouged, don't go to the gouging stores.
Right.
You should have gone to the regular stores before the hurricane hit.
Long before, because the shelves would have been empty. I saw some of the pictures from some folks down there. I mean, they cleaned those stores out.
I mean, or not stayed around for a hurricane, because think about the service that you're demanding. You're demanding that people stay in during a hurricane and in the aftermath of a hurricane
in a category 4
and
hurricane.
Provide you with goods and services. This is not like regular Domino's pizza.
You're
this is like,
them
I
to
want
risk
Domino's
their
pizza
lives.
to deliver during Katrina, but I don't want to pay for it.
Right.
You're asking for an extraordinary good and want the regular price.
Right.
Wow,
that's
a great way to. That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah, I think that is it is a great way to put it. There's no doubt about it. One might ask, if you are a homeowner, just a regular homeowner that can't, for whatever reason, fill up your bathtub ahead of time, or the bathtub got contaminated with flood water, or whatever the reason might be, maybe the upstairs bathtub might have been a way to go, and if you don't have an upstairs, whatever, maybe you should have 5 cases of water sitting in the garage, and you cycle through them.
Yeah, why not?
As things come through. In my case, I don't need to do that. I have 3 wells on my property, a hand pump. We've got fruit trees and pigs and gardens and all that other stuff. I don't need to worry about it. If the power gets knocked out, the generator goes on and those kind of things. And so That's not a concern for me. But if you are in, I lived in suburbia. I know what it's like. I had enough room to put 5 cases of water aside. That might have been a really great thing to have. Then you could share with your neighbors, and they wouldn't have to go spend $25 a case. Now, I think the worst thing, the biggest atrocity here is that, like Melanie said, the Attorney General is now going to go after, businesses providing extraordinary goods for extraordinary prices.
Yeah, it's terrible. Let's go to your calls and thoughts. Ralph in New Jersey, you're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Ralph.
Okay, yes, hello, good evening to you. Now, I would like to tackle on the issue of race right now.
No, really? Would you really?
I do. I'm fully aware of what happened to Christopher Cantwell, okay? And I believe that that's very, very unfair, what the judicial system has done to Chris.
Agreed.
Okay? They never, ever prosecuted any of the white animals on the other side. The Antifa, there's no prosecution for those
Well, would we really know about it? I mean, because if they did prosecute one of the Antifa people, nobody knows who they are. You know what I mean?
This is where the Antifa has this protesting thing down.
Hold on, Ralph. Hold on. We're going to bring you back.
This is where the Antifa people have it right. They wear masks over their face.
Yeah, and they're not going to do an interview, right? Openly and identify themselves. 855-450-FREE like freedom, 855-450-3733. But Chris is proud of his despicable racist views, and, well, the state's come down on him. More coming up.
Bitcoin Cash is on fire. It has rocketed past old Bitcoin, and many predict it can only go up from here. There is only one place that I know of to mine Bitcoin Cash, and that's pool.bitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com is the only place for all things Bitcoin. Wallets, news, forums, games, for the beginners to the expert, Bitcoin.com has all you need. It's the only place on the internet that you can mine Bitcoin Cash. Check them out today, pool.bitcoin.com. You don't want to be kicking yourself in a year wishing you'd made an affordable investment in Bitcoin. Pool.bitcoin.com.
Do you want to help build a better financial system for everyone? Join Dash. Dash is Digital Cash, a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast and easy, fees are low, and transactions are confirmed instantly. Dash is decentralized, run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Dash is set up to succeed where other platforms have failed. Give it a try at dash.org. Help people take control over their financial future today. Find out more at dash.org.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene, the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, August 28th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.23 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,297 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 4.1 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,327. Antiwar.com reports alongside announcing the escalations of U.S. wars in Iraq and Syria, the Pentagon was given the decision of whether or not to inform the public about those troop levels. Unsurprisingly, this has so far meant no announcements at all. President Trump followed that up with an announced escalation in Afghanistan last week and once again insisted that exact troop levels would be secret from now on because he does not want the enemy to know. In both cases, concern about public oversight has been dismissed by officials. but not by non-government organizations, with analysts increasingly concerned that the Pentagon is setting its own troop levels, and apart from negotiating with foreign governments, the American public is being kept totally in the dark on the final decisions. This, in many cases, is a convenience for the Pentagon. The 8,400 troops officially in Afghanistan on the day of Trump's announcement was actually more like 12,000. The cap on troops in Iraq was already far exceeded before the escalation there as well. Not making those figures public both prevents public debate on wars that are increasingly out of control and makes negotiations with the foreign states hosting them easier, as is the case in Iraq. Prime Minister Abadi faces an election next year, and revealing how many troops he's allowed in would be a political embarrassment, the sort that might have him blocking further escalations. Instead, the troop levels are secret and no one is the wiser. This means that officials can try to skirt the very real ramifications of their overseas deployments by simply not telling anyone how many troops are involved.
Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spend-A-Bit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spend-A-Bit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co.
UPI reports thousands of people descended upon Berkeley, California on Sunday for a rally against hate in response to planned right-wing protests, leading to violent skirmishes and several arrests. At least 14 people were arrested at Berkeley's Civic Center Park for violating protest rules by covering their faces or carrying items banned by authorities. Before the weekend rallies and protests took place, Berkeley police made several efforts to ensure the peaceful expression of free speech, including the prohibition of sticks, pipes, poles, and anything else that can be used for a riot. Police also said that anything that covers or partially covers the face and shields the wearer's face from view or partially from view is prohibited. Several violent incidents, including assaults on protesters, were reported throughout the day.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports Tropical Storm Harvey was set to dump more rain on Houston on Monday, worsening flooding that has already paralyzed the country's fourth largest city, forced thousands to flee surrounding counties, and swelled rivers to levels not seen in centuries. Harvey, the most powerful hurricane to hit Texas in more than 50 years, first hit land late on Friday and has killed at least 2 people. It has since stayed around the Texas Gulf Coast, where it is forecast to remain for several more days, drenching parts of the region with a year's worth of rain in the span of a week. Schools, airports, and office buildings in Houston were ordered shut down on Monday as scores of roads turned into rivers in chest-high water-filled neighborhoods in the low-lying city that is home to more than 2.3 million people. Torrential rain also hit areas more than 150 miles away, swelling rivers upstream and causing a surge that was headed towards the Houston area, where numerous bayous have already been breached. More flooding is expected as water levels continue to rise, putting more residents at risk. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers said they were planning to release water from 2 nearby reservoirs into Buffalo Bayou, the primary body of water running through Houston. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Pushed to the breaking point after constantly being taken to task without ever hearing a word of thanks for what it does around here, an overwhelmed and infuriated nation announced in February that it was trying, okay? Jesus Christ. A poll of the American populace revealed that 33% felt they were doing pretty damned well, thank you, while another 28% just wanted 2 freaking minutes without somebody breathing down their neck.
We're trying as hard as we can here. How about cutting some little slack for a change, huh? You know what? This is just bullshit. I do not need this shit.
Christ Almighty, sources added. God distanced himself from the entire right-wing fundamentalist Christian movement, saying that he did not believe pregnancies result from his divine will. The Almighty Father went on to dismiss capital punishment, gun rights, the anti-abortion movement, and the efforts of the Westboro Baptist Church, while adding that he and Christian conservatives, quote, no longer saw eye to eye on the majority of issues. And physicists discovered that the entirety of our known universe is actually the fictional setting of a cop show called Hard Case.
is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can bring up whatever you want. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. 855-450-3733 with you tonight in the studio. It's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
As we continue with your calls and thoughts, we can talk more about price gouging and what's going on with Bitcoin or whatever it is you want to discuss. If you dial in and join us here, as Ralph has done in New Jersey, as always, obsessing over race. Go ahead.
Right.
That's what you do.
The racial discord happening in this country right now, I can only think of El Caper and the black animal.
El Caper?
El Caper, that's Obama, and the black animal, Maxine Water, as being behind all this thing going on in our country right now.
That's a conspiracy theory. You're not prone to conspiracy theories, are you?
What are they behind?
No, I do have a question to ask.
Hold on, wait a minute. Are you saying that that Barack Obama is behind the Antifa movement?
Right. That's because they are an extension to Black Lives Matter. But more to the point, I want to say this. I believe that the antidote to black bigotry in this country is white guilt. Now, I haven't seen the white guilty in this country, put together a plan on how to bring this country together.
I'm not interested in it. First of all, why would anyone want to bring the country together? It's an impossible task.
Yeah.
People are too diverse. They're too, the belief systems are too varied.
Well, we are headed to a racial war, aren't we?
In the middle of a racial war? No.
If these people, the blacks, going wild and animal.
There's no racial war here, Ralph. I mean, there are some people on.
Ralph, did you walk down the street today?
I'm walking on the street right now in the dark of the night, and thanks goodness this is not. This is
when you walk down the street. Did you walk down the street? Did you see a black person?
You may not believe it, but
that's not even an answer.
Yes,
Mark's trying to ask you a question, Ralph. Can we ask you a question, please?
Yes, what is the question?
Let me reframe the question. Rather than a series of questions, I'm just going to ask you this. What evidence do you have that there's a race war going on in the United States?
Well, that whole situation going on in Virginia and in
That's not a race
going on.
That was a bunch of white people fighting each other. Come on.
That's rumors of wars or the coming civil war or the coming race war. But more to the point, Mark. Okay?
Rumors of war. Look, just because a couple of people have a throwdown in a public park doesn't mean you've got a race war on your hands.
Yeah, sorry. Stop rubbing your hands together for the race war.
This is what you want. You want to see this.
Ralph, if there's a race war, the people who want to fight that race war on the white side are not going to consider you to be on their team. Are you aware of that?
I wish I could be neutral, but considering the situation with Robert Lee, an Asian American, and who worked for ESPN, I don't think that's a sign of neutrality right there. As far as my background, my racial background is concerned, I do not really believe that you know about that whole thing, Mark. You know about that whole thing. Robert Lee, Asian American.
I can't understand what you're saying at this point.
I don't know what you're saying.
Robert Lee.
Robert Lee.
Okay, Robert Lee.
That's right.
Yep.
Was an Asian American. You can Google the.
He was Asian?
Okay, he's talking.
That's correct.
He's talking about the sportscaster.
There you go.
Oh, right.
But that is laughable, Ralph. It's no doubt. The reassignment of Robert Lee is a funny joke. But it is not evidence for a race war, and it isn't going to save you if a white lynch mob comes around looking for the brownest guy around.
He's Filipino, by the way, for listeners that don't know. Thanks for the call, Ralph. Let's continue here. Let's go to Dave. He is in Columbus, Ohio. Dave, you're listening online. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hey, what's on your mind?
Hey, price gouging, right, in Texas. Honestly, you guys are spot on correct. right? What's wrong with like I wouldn't say the mom and pop shop, but somebody that is just raising their prices. I know it's a crisis, but here they are trying to make a buck or two, right? What about the Targets, the Walmarts, and all these other kind of people that, they're selling out, they do all this kind of stuff, but where are they? They can get supplies faster than demand, right?
Well, no, they can't get supplies faster than demand, not in a situation where roads are shut down.
Okay. So do we now go after these smaller companies? Do you mean like these mom and pop shops?
No, of course not.
Fair, right. I agree. I mean, the Attorney General from Texas goes out there and accuses these people. It's terrible.
Well, they've got pictures. I mean, there's not going to be much accusation to this. They're going to be fined. The fines aren't going to go to any victim or anything like that. You're just going to go to Texas.
Right, because there are no victims.
Right,
there are price gouging.
Well, there are no real victims, but they're not going to. Even if there were, they wouldn't get anything.
Well, and in my experience, which is pretty limited, the smaller companies is who they go after. First of all, because it's the smaller companies who are open. Walmart's closed, and they know that they can't fight as well, so that's who they pick on. Just kind of how the rest of the system works.
Bevy of attorneys, whereas the mom and pop quickie mart on the corner of the street probably doesn't have as many attorneys.
And if Walmart was to do something like that, they'd have closets full of papers as to why that price made sense on that given day. Whereas, just some guy who owns a store doesn't have access to do
It's political grandstanding as well. I mean, the Attorney General doesn't suffer if he doesn't go out there and make a big deal about these evil price gougers. I'm going to do what I can to stop this. We're going to punish them.
Well, and he's probably getting phone calls. I went to the gas station and water was $20, and you should make them stop doing that because I don't understand economics, but I have feels.
Right, and he wants to get reelected or reappointed, so he's got to make it look like he's doing something.
He wants to be the next governor.
There's probably a chance of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Where's FEMA in all this?
Where's who?
FEMA? FEMA, yeah.
I don't know, but I know that when they came down to the Hurricane Katrina situation, they made things worse, not better, like when they stopped doctors who wanted to help people from being able to help them, when they stopped Walmart from coming in with literally tractor trailers full of ice and water. They just got in the way rather than actually, helping people. I'm sure some people got helped by FEMA, but there were so many different, just absolutely terrible.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hurricane Katrina?
Yeah, but they weren't even there during or really even shortly after.
Okay, well, at some point they came along and they stopped Walmart from bringing in tractor trailers full of water and ice. They said, nope.
I can pull up the story.
Walmart was giving people... Well, okay.
I'm sure they found
some. It doesn't mean that Walmart didn't get through with tractor trailers.
I'm sure they got through to some people, but there were some of their trailers where FEMA stopped them and said, you are not coming in here. We are going to handle this. We are FEMA. We are the ones who are going to help people. You will not do it. And they literally turned them around. It was crazy. That really happened. And then there were doctors who were stopped by them from being able to actually treat patients because they hadn't gone through some stupid FEMA training camp or something like that. Like they just showed up willing to help and were told, nope, sorry, you can't help. We're FEMA. We're in charge here.
And Walmart had been staging very effective, far more effective than FEMA had relief efforts throughout Katrina. But once FEMA shows up on board, it's like, well, this is all confusing to our process. You're not part of our process. Goodbye.
Yeah, well, as much as I don't like Walmart was pretty good on that.
Yep. Dave, anything else you want to share? Go ahead.
Well, yeah, but what's wrong with making $1 or $2? I know you guys agree with this, but it's like, what's wrong with making $1 or $2?
I don't have any
demand went up.
I don't have any problem with people making $1 or $2. I think it looks very distasteful to people for whatever reason that people might be charging
if
at this
you
point.
don't understand what surgery is and you walk into a OR, it looks really distasteful that a bunch of guys in robes are cutting some guy open. But that's why you shouldn't have strong opinions on things when you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Well, right, and to some extent, these stores, and Dave, thanks for the call tonight, they do have to deal with public perception. So that could be a potential, factor in how they decide what price to set. Like, well, if we set this at $300 for a case of water, we might insult customers, and they may not want to come back.
Nobody might not have $300
Right,
to
and
buy
they may not want to come back if they see us treating the people like that. 855-450 free like freedom. Join us on Free Talk Live.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, you should give Physicians Mutual Insurance Company a call. 1-800-496-3947. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away. So you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Call and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-496-3947. That's 1-800-496-3947. 1-800-496-3947.
Heart disease is on the rise. Clogged arteries, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol levels may not be fully detected by you, but the symptoms are there. Loss of energy, blood sugar spikes and drops, poor circulation, and irregular heartbeat are just a few of these that can alert you that something is wrong. Hear how Heart and Body Extract is making a difference in thousands of people's lives across America.
My blood pressure has normalized. My diabetes has totally improved.
Everyone is telling me now how much healthier I look, and I'm telling everyone how much healthier I feel. I recommend Heart and Body Extract to everyone.
Anybody over 40 in the North American continent should be using this product as a preventative to keep their cardiovascular system healthy.
Order your 2-month supply today by calling 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. Or order online, hbextract.com. Heart and Body Extract, 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com.
If you're looking for work, you know the math. There are many more applicants than openings, so you need to stand out, not blend into the blah, blah, blah your interviewer is hearing from your competition. Here's a tip. In your interview, you will be judged more by the questions you ask than the answers you give. Yes, do anticipate the obvious job interview questions and prepare concise, insightful, glass-half-full sounding responses. And you should interview your interviewer. Seem genuinely curious about what will help get results. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. You want to cut through the clutter. For more tips for job seekers and making all the other conversations you have more productive, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
For years, LRN.FM has had a listen line that you can call and listen to LRN.FM anytime. Now we're taking the idea to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line. You can call 641-793-9660 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed, and you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 641-793-9660 and choose from the menu 641-793-9660.
How many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They'd rather keep their clients in the dark. There are too many lawyer jokes to count. However, there are some lawyers with more noble intentions. At the Institute for Justice, we bring the light to our clients. We are a non-profit public interest law firm with clear values and principles. At IJ, we fight for those whose most basic rights are denied by the government. Visit our website today at ij.org.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial toll-free. Bring up anything that you want. We're talking about so-called price gouging. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Also, let's get an update, Mark, before we go on with your calls and thoughts on hope.freetalklive.com, the construction project that's been going on for a few months now. When did this get started? Or at least when did our involvement get started?
Well, I started donating and sort of keeping an eye on things last year in August.
Oh, okay. It's been that long.
Nafuna had been, fundraising to get the kids workbooks and shoes to go to school.
We're talking about an orphanage being built in Jinja, Uganda.
That's right, and these were orphans, and there are about 40 of them. And so pricing for shoes and workbooks is significantly less. Now, these are used shoes brought over from the United States. I think they're like $2 a pair. I'd been kind of keeping an eye on things and seeing what he planned, and had him draw out proposals and had people talk to him and a whole variety of things. And when I finally was ready to get involved and help build the orphanage, I asked the Nafuna, who's a young man, he's probably in his early 20s, that he's going to need some bricks, and he said that the people and the townspeople would help make bricks. And I said, I want to see those bricks before I come talk to my listeners and start raising a great deal of money to build an orphanage for you. They made 40,000 bricks. And you can go see pictures at hope.freetalklive.com of those bricks now in place. They've got the second story done. I just got the funding over this weekend to them for the roof and the column, finishing up the columns and that sort of thing. So we should see that part going up here in the very near future, in the next week or two. I expect to see the roof up, and then we'll be doing some interior stuff. And as my understanding, we're done. I mean, interiors of houses aren't quite as finished, perhaps, there as they are here. Obviously, I'm not entirely clear. There's a language barrier with Nafuna, but there isn't, the language of getting things done, he understands. So you can go to hope.freetalklive.com if you want to help donate towards the last phase, what I believe to be the last phase of the orphanage that we're building in Jinja, Uganda. Your donation will be matched by both Jax.io and GetSell411.com, making your $10 donation a $30, a $50 donation $150, and your $100 donation $300. If that makes perfect sense to you, it's hope.freetalklive.com.
All right, let's go back to the phones, to the fun, your calls and thoughts. Welcome. It's David in San Francisco. You're on Free Talk Live. Hey, David.
Hey, howdy ho.
Hey.
You all are familiar with Naomi Klein, right?
Yeah, actually, we had her on the radio once upon a time.
Oh, you did? Good. Well, she wrote an article back in June. Looks like it's in The Guardian. And in it, she was describing the profiteers from Hurricane Katrina. And she ends up naming 5 of the Trump's, whether they're cabinet. Well, I'll just start off with it. Vice President Pence is the first one. Then Ryan, the Speaker of the House. Tillerson was one of the profiteers. Exxon made out like a bandit. But Pence actually is one of the most interesting because he was the leader of the aftermath of Katrina. And he was the director of all of the profiteers down there. And when you think of how bad Katrina ended up, and how all of, like Halliburton and Blackwater and all of the machine gun thugs wouldn't let people back into their houses, bulldozing houses that were undamaged, stealing the schools, that was Betsy DeVos. She's the Secretary of Education. It was her company that ended up with the privatized schools. Halliburton, I mentioned, Chertoff, that was head of Homeland Security at the time. His company made out like bandits. And Jeff Sessions, he also was very involved in making sure that aid didn't show up. I think the aid being stymied was Ryan as well as Sessions. So when you start looking at what's going on in Houston, and everybody thinks, Texas is a red state and they're going to be loyal to Trump and he'll be loyal to them. No way. When you start looking at the land values of down in the coastline there, and Houston region. These guys are going to just kick everybody out. They're going to screw everybody. I used to live in St. Louis, and when you have a disaster area, they end up condemning the whole thing and giving it over to some agency who then forces you to, dance 100 tunes before you can even return to your own property to grab your wallet or anything.
Sounds right.
Yeah, if you get a chance to take a look at...
So that happens, they'll just condemn entire neighborhoods after a disaster, and what does that mean? You don't get to sell your own property anymore? So they just take it through eminent domain? I'm not familiar with this process. And Melanie, you are from Louisiana originally, the New Orleans region. Do you know anything about what he's talking about?
Yes. So as far as actually officially condemning entire neighborhoods, I wouldn't expect them to. I've never heard of that. I wouldn't expect them to be that official about it. As far as they were pretty randomly, whether it's through incompetence or malicious or both. I mean, flip a coin. They were doing stuff as far as just randomly bulldozing buildings and taking them over and just whatever.
The government,
they felt like.
The government of the region,
yeah.
or
and they had some places shut down. They had some places after a while you could get in if you had an ID with a local address. Some places you just couldn't, they would not let you in.
Mm-hmm.
So everything
and that
he
was days
says sounds
after,
about
or
right.
weeks or months. Was that days after or weeks or months? Because Pence apparently took over, I think it sounds like it was about a week and a half into it. Pence came in with his crew. And I'm trying to think if he was no longer governor at the time. Naomi Klein goes into detail about each of the different profiteers, each of these different people.
It's probably worth reading. Obviously, we can't speak with any kind of intelligence on an article that we've just now heard about, but it sounds like it's worth a read.
Yeah, I mean, a week sounds about right. In some areas, you wouldn't have been able to get to that day. I mean, unless you took a boat. But
so the idea is that these Trump-connected Republicans were involved with certain companies that somehow benefited from the land the destroyed land from Hurricane Katrina. They were able to use their political connections to accumulate property.
At the time they weren't Trump connected. They're Trump connected now because so many of them are tied to Trump directly. But in the case of, it used to be that it was a state or county issue or parish down there issue. But in this case, it all got federalized down there in Katrina.
All the more reason to get rid of the federal government. Hey, thanks for the call tonight, David, because there's no doubt that people who are in positions of power will certainly wield it to benefit their friends and themselves and punish their enemies. There's more coming up here in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
Are you looking to become more self-sufficient? Then you need to have your own energy source. The SolarArc EMP hardened generator is automatic, maintenance-free, and reduces your monthly electric bill. You can also take it off-grid when you go camping. Contact PortableSolarLLC.com or call for details at 972-575-8875 today. Portable Solar LLC gives you everything you need to start using solar energy in less than 1 hour. SolarArc EMP hardened solar generator energy insurance for your family or business. Call Portable Solar LLC today.
If there's a toxic chemical, biological, gas, smoke emergency while traveling at home or on your job, are you protected? Are you prepared? There are over 400,000 fires in the USA every year. Up to 85% of all deaths in a fire are due to smoke inhalation. 3 minutes without air and we as humans will die. Be prepared and escape safely with our Safe Escape smoke hoods, giving you up to 60 minutes of breathable air protection. Order yours online at ase-safety.com. That's ase-safety.com. And get up to 40% off plus free shipping.
Free Talk Live.
Is God against audio CDs or MP3s?
No, all that technology was stolen from the angels in the first place. You wouldn't have anything that wasn't here in 1947.
Why are you selling audio tapes on your website?
There's only one there. which is Angels Over Pendleton, shows
I see
a
several
video
audio
of the
tapes here.
angel that we communicated with.
No,
for
you can't
9
put
days.
video on it. You can't put video on an audio tape. I'm looking at your website here. There's a page where you've got audio tapes for sale for $6, $6.25 each.
And I bought both Nazareth and REO Speedwagon on audio tape.
On audio tape,
Yeah.
but that was back in the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting the word, if you're trying to get the word out about, what you believe is going to happen in the future, maybe you should put it on CD and at least move into the 1990s as opposed to, 1985.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern. Live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com. The 3 most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share 1 episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. You likely buy all kinds of things online. Amazon is the largest online retailer. You can get what you need at the same prices with free Super Saver shipping by going to shop.freetalklive.com. Please do your online shopping at shop.freetalklive.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial toll free, take control of the airwaves, bring up anything you want. Our number here, 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, that's 855-450-3733. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark. Whole Food Multi-Complete. If you take a multivitamin on a daily basis, you're likely taking one from a grocery store or the big box store or something like that. That's really it's fine to be taking one on a regular basis. A synthetic supplement is better than no supplement at all. But I'd like you to consider for a second, maybe there's something more. Something that besides vitamins and minerals, that maybe vitamins and minerals that come from whole food, plant-based diet. How about vitamins, besides vitamins and minerals, probiotics, enzymes, antioxidants? Everything that you need is contained in Whole Food Multi-Complete. They've been providing for 15 years, quietly, what the big boys want. It's a perfect blend of 7 different supplements in one single product. Now, the list of ingredients in these supplements is expansive. Please go to simplifymysupplements.com and just take a look. Just go there and take a look at the list of ingredients. I think you'll be stunned. For me, what it helped me do is right away, the probiotic helped me to lose about between 10 and 15 pounds without even knowing what was going on. I had to actually watch a movie called The Gut or something that informed me. So Whole Food Multi-Complete, enter coupon code FTL, receive 10% off of your order every time you use it. Satisfaction guaranteed. They do take Bitcoin. Your money back if you're not satisfied. SimplifyMySupplements.com. This is an item that I will continue to take for as long as I possibly can. Whether they advertise or not. SimplifyMySupplements.com.
Let's go to Sarah in New Mexico. Sarah, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yes. Did you know that city of Albuquerque, we're going to have a free bike repair shop paid for by the city?
No,
and it's
I didn't know that.
It's amazing.
Well, when you say paid for by the city, you mean the taxpayers are paying for it, because there's no such thing as a free bike repair shop.
Right. It's going to cost $400,000.
Woohoo! Wow.
You know how many cars you can get with $400K?
Why don't they just buy poor people cars?
Call them an Uber.
Well, the whole thing is that, I think it's a good thing.
Is the purpose of this to teach people how to repair a bike, or is it just to repair their bike for them?
Well, I don't know. I think they come in and they help people repair their bicycles. I don't know the exact detail, but it's gonna be starting because we have a favorable climate, like really good weather most of the year around, and there's a lot of bicycle paths. But I think it's to me it's like this bike repair shop is going to have more of the bicyclists get hit by a car, because if they get a free repair, more people are going to be riding the bike all over the place.
Hold on. Did you just say that because people's bikes will be in working order, that they'll be more likely to ride them and therefore more likely to be hit by a car?
I think that was the premise, yeah.
So are you against the bike repair shop, day?
Bike repair shop day? I don't know they had a day.
Was it a month? How long is this going on for?
It's a repair shop.
Hold on. Maybe I misunderstood.
It's a $400,000 government bike repair shop.
Wait, okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you were saying they were going to have like a special day where people could come get their bike worked on for free or something. Where is this? What exactly is going to happen?
It's going to be a shop. It's not a day. From what I was told, it's going to be an actual place where you could take it in and get your bike repaired.
And this shop will be run by the city of Albuquerque?
That's correct. What a good deal.
No, what an outrageous...
Are they going to fly the flag of the Soviet Union out front? Are they going to call it the People's Bike Repair Shop?
I mean, of all the things... I don't think the government should spend money on anything, but I can think of so many things that I would have it spend money on before I would have it spend money on entertainment, because that is what this is. Most people are not using bikes as some are, but most people are not using bikes as transportation. This is subsidizing people's hobbies. This is utterly ridiculous.
But the thing about it is that, to me, it's comical because we're number one in bicycle fatality. That's what I'm talking about. The more bicycles rolling around because it's fixed, the more they're going to get hit. That doesn't solve our problem of being number one in bicycle fatality.
Paying attention would solve that problem.
Why is it, Sarah, so first of all, are you saying that this bike repair thing is going to do this for free and they're going to be there 365 days a year? They're going to be there all year long doing free bike repairs for people?
Well, I'm sure they're going to have like Monday through Friday, whatever their time is. I don't know if they're supposed to help people. I don't know the exact detail, but it's going to be a shop. But the thing is,
run by the city of Albuquerque. Why is it that there needs to be a city-run bike repair shop when you've got private bike shops all over the place? I mean, a quick Google search reveals places like the Bike Smith in Albuquerque, or Bike Works Albuquerque, or Performance Bicycle, or Fixed and Free Custom Bike Shop. I mean, there's all kinds of different marketplace solutions here.
Another quick search also shows that at governing.com, New Mexico is third as far as per capita bike deaths, and is nowhere near the top on actual bike deaths per year. So third.
Yeah, I just don't understand why there needs to be a government-run bike repair store. I mean, it just sounds like, if that's indeed what's happening, and Sarah, you may be misrepresenting what's actually happening because it doesn't sound like you know a whole lot about it. You were just using this as an excuse to call in and complain about people hitting people on bikes.
We're very much clean energy and clean, like environmentalist state. So that
you know what the cleanest energy is? Nuclear.
What?
Nuclear.
Oh, that's your opinion. You know what? Talk to people in Chernobyl that got.
Well, you're not supposed to blow them up. You're supposed to use them to create energy and then use the waste and then reprocess the waste. But the government has made that illegal. So then you have all this, half-used nuclear waste sitting around everywhere.
Well, you know what? Pedal power is the cleanest energy, in my opinion. That's your opinion. You like being fusion and fission and nuclear waste. That's your opinion, and spills. You know what?
No, I don't like nuclear waste. I like the government to stop disallowing people from using it. Stuff doesn't stay nuclear. The stuff doesn't just sit there and stay nuclear. That's an unstable state. If you fully process it, it's not nuclear anymore.
I feel like you've derailed the conversation when you say it's the cleanest. I mean,
arguing with Sarah over.
It seems like to me that walking and riding bikes has to be arguably cleaner.
But that's not a form
nuclear.
of energy.
No, you can get on a bicycle generator.
Energy.
You can get on one of those bicycle generator things where you pedal and it makes light. It makes electricity
You're
happen.
going to expend carbon dioxide, which the greenies will tell you is destroying the planet. So
you mean while you're breathing?
Yeah.
Sarah, thanks for the call tonight. Huh? What?
I want to say something that this is going to pick up. Do you know why? The bicycles? Because our gas is going to go up here because because of the storm. They're having problems shipping the oil to New Mexico from
That's right.
Texas.
That's a short-term issue.
Maybe the Democratic Party should stop standing in front of the creation of refineries and you wouldn't have to worry about it. Oh, you support them.
Thanks for the call, Sarah. Look, I've never had to pay more than $20 to $40 to repair my bicycle. I use a bike pretty often here in Keene, New Hampshire. Not every day.
Say daily, but close to it.
Not every day. Not
every day is nice.
Maybe not even a couple times a week sometimes, but sometimes I do. And I try to bike everywhere, and I'll usually have to repair it like once a year, something goes wrong with the shifter thing, and I don't know what the heck to do about it, so I take it in, and this old guy repairs the thing, and he never charges me more than $20 to $40, no matter what the damn problem with the bike is. I don't know what I'm doing.
Now that you paid money for a good bike, you don't have to worry about that. The first 3 bikes you had to return each time.
Yep,
that's cheapies.
That's right. I got a decent bike from a decent local bike shop instead of Walmart, which is where I got the crappy ones from. And I just have to spend like $20 to $40 a year on repairing the thing. I mean, it's really no big deal. I mean, the idea that there needs to be some sort of government agency to do this for poor people, it's ridiculous. I mean, if the poor people weren't drinking all the time and smoking, they'd have the $20 they needed to put a new chain on. More coming up here in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
If you're a sleep apnea sufferer who's on the go to your phone and call right now to try the world's first portable mini CPAP device, absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights. It's the Transcend Mini CPAP, an engineering marvel that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. Its unique design is so small and so light, you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. No more dragging around a big, bulky CPAP. Even better, now you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights by calling minicpap.com, 1-800-940-1740. Transcend is FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. You can also add a battery pack that's as tiny as a deck of cards. So now you can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. But don't wait. To receive your 10-night in-home trial, call minicpap.com now. 1-800-940-1740. That's 1-800-940-1740.
How did you become addicted? A friend? Were you at a party and someone said, "Hey, try this"? Then you got the cold sweats and started shaking. And the more you did it, the more it didn't work. So you switched to the needle. Now you're a train wreck. Drinking, drugging, broke. Your family hates you. And you hate you. Get out of your hell on earth now. Call the Detox and Treatment Helpline today for immediate help. In many cases, your insurance may cover the costs. We can't guarantee it, but we can guarantee we have what you need to change your life for the better. Pick up your cell phone and call right now. 855-700-2979. 855-700-2979. 855-700-2979. That's 855-700-2979.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, Government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Boost Kid Essentials Nutritionally Complete Drink, providing your picky eater with essential nutrition and great taste in one drink. Visit us at kidessentials.com. To make sure your kids eat healthy, follow the 5-a-day plan. Serve 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit daily. Remember, a serving could just mean a piece of fruit or a half cup of veggies. If your kids are picky eaters, ask a nutritionist about other sources. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
You can connect with the Liberty Radio Network via our Facebook page at facebook.lrn.fm. That's facebook.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in toll free and join us right here. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And if you want to help support Free Talk Live, then please do that by joining the AMP program. AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. And the idea is simple. You head over to amp.freetalklive.com. You get signed up with any major credit card, PayPal, or Bitcoin, your choice, and then that $5 a month goes in and gets invested into Free Talk Live so we can get on more radio stations around the country and bring new internet listeners on board, expose new people to the ideas of freedom and liberty and peace and cryptocurrency, which unfortunately we didn't get a chance to talk about tonight, but I'll be talking about it at some point this week because this whole SegWit thing is worth kind of trying to understand. There's been all this talk about the segregated witness and how this is going to help Bitcoin scale into the future and reduce fees. Well, thing is, it hasn't yet. The segregated witness thing got implemented a few days ago now, several days ago, and, well, the fees are higher than they've ever been. So we'll talk about why that is and what's really going on there, and it's a discussion that's going to take a whole lot longer than one more show segment. So I had something else here about price gouging. Since you had brought something in, Mark, I found a piece over at fee.org, the Foundation for Economic Education, which, of course, is a great resource to turn to if you're looking for information about economics from a pro-liberty perspective. This one is by Steve Patterson, and it's entitled, Thank Goodness for Price Gougers. A gallon of milk, $7.59. Outrageous, he writes.
Yeah.
That was twice what I spent in town the day before. One lousy gallon of milk and I'd have to file for bankruptcy. Whoever was responsible was a rotten price gouger, but I didn't have a choice. The potatoes were already boiling. I grabbed the milk, sulked up to the counter, and coughed up the money. You see, my brother was cooking a meal for the family, ham, vegetables, and mashed potatoes. He'd already started, and the potatoes were peeled, cut, and boiling on the stove. My job was to get the milk. You can't properly mash potatoes without milk.
One more time, let's point out that the well-prepared are the ones that don't have to pay these prices.
That's right.
If he'd have had in the cupboard a 6-pack of that milk that comes in cardboard boxes that you don't have to refrigerate. Are you even familiar with
this real milk?
It's real. It's real enough.
Or if he would have just not started cooking something that he didn't have all the ingredients for, he probably could have cooked something else.
Well,
how do you keep? Is it super preserved? It's not
I don't
powdered?
know the specifics. It is not powdered.
They have the liquid. It's like, I think it's more like cream because you're supposed to mix it with water, but they have like
No, I
canned
don't think you
milk.
don't mix it with water. This just comes in cardboard. My mother keeps it in the cupboard in case, because she doesn't use milk for anything except like making Kraft macaroni and cheese or mashed potatoes or things like that. She doesn't really use the stuff often. We don't use it at all. I mean, I can't remember the last time we needed milk at the house, but I'm not trying to make fun of people who make milk. Use milk. I'm just trying to say that there are ways to be prepared for situations like this. The price gouging comes to the person who is unprepared generally. It's possible that a tornado just wiped your house out.
So apparently this is a thing. UHT milk can last for several months in a special type of packaging without spoiling, at least until you open it, at which point the shelf life does shorten.
Very quickly.
Needs to be stored in the fridge. UHT stands for ultra high temperature pasteurized, which, anyway, there you go. There's a little bit more about that. You can go and read more about UHT. That's new to me. Anyway, back to the story here. He says, we were in the middle of rural Virginia, where the closest grocery store was a half hour away. I'd secured the milk the day prior, but accidentally left both gallons in the car sitting in the sun. So he tried to prepare for this meal, but screwed it up.
He sucks at this.
Luckily, there was one gas station that stocks necessities a few miles down the road. When I arrived, I walked to the back of the store and saw the last gallon of milk remaining. It had a bright orange sticker slapped on it, notifying customers of its new astronomical price. After purchasing it, I hadn't even reached my car before the economic lesson dawned on me. I was extremely fortunate that the milk was so expensive. In hindsight, it's obvious. Why wasn't the store completely out of milk? Because all the customers before me didn't purchase that last gallon. They were more revolted by the price than I was. And thank goodness, because otherwise I would have failed at my mission. I didn't have time to travel a half hour to and from town. Dinner would already have ended. Mashed potato-less. Instead, thanks to the price markup from the store manager, I returned home triumphant with plenty of time to enjoy dinner. The final product was creamy and delicious. We live in a world of scarce resources, he writes. There just isn't enough milk available to satisfy every human demand. In a perfect world, perhaps milk would be free and abundant. You could snap your fingers and have an unlimited supply at your disposal, but that's not the world we live in. At the store, there was 1 gallon of milk remaining, and certainly more than one person who could use it. So who should get the last gallon? The answer
willing to pay.
The answer teaches us a second economic lesson: resource allocation. In a world of scarcity, resources would ideally be allocated to those who want them the most. If I'm desperate for water, it should be a shame if somebody bought every bottle in the store to water their houseplants. We need some kind of system for the coordination and conservation of scarce resources, and this is precisely the role of prices in a free market. A price represents what a buyer must give up in order to purchase a good. The higher the price, the more you have to give up. The lower the price, the less. So when any good is in short supply, when only 1 gallon of milk remains at the store, the price goes up, and it gets allocated to those willing to give up the most for it. In my case, I probably valued that gallon of milk more highly than anyone else in town, and I paid accordingly. Which brings up a third lesson. The manager had no idea. We never met. I didn't have to explain why I needed the milk more than my neighbors. Nobody needed to understand economics. The man was simply acting in his self-interest without any central planning or direction, and he unwittingly coordinated scarce resources to their most valued or their most highly valued ends. By raising his prices, what often is seen as cold profit maximization, he essentially told the entire community, hey, we're low on milk. Only those who really need it can buy it. Concretely speaking, this small action was directly responsible for giving my family a nice, peaceful dinner together. But it doesn't stop there. Think long term. By raising his prices, the store owner made a larger profit. He was rewarded for his sensible decision. Who, in an ideal world, do we want coordinating scarce resources? People like him. And in a free market, this is precisely what happens. The better the businessman, the higher the profit he makes, and the more resources he's able to allocate. And the same is true in reverse. The businessman who doesn't maximize profits, who never raises his prices and always has a shortage of inventory, will be outcompeted in the long run. If he's doing a bad job, if he keeps making losses, then bankruptcy is inevitable. And this, too, is desirable in a world of scarcity. If people waste resources, then the sooner they go bankrupt, the better.
Indeed.
Say the small-town grocery store owner makes outrageous profits. He keeps his milk prices at $7.59 indefinitely. In a free market,
that isn't going to work, right?
Right. In a free market, this is nothing to worry about either. High profits are a signal to other entrepreneurs to enter the market. If they offer the same good at a lower price, they can take customers away from the price gouger and make a profit themselves. Before long, this
doesn't take much to compete with a guy who's trying to sell milk at $7.50.
No doubt.
Now, I mean, it's possible you're running some convenience store out in the middle of BF nowhere, and it costs money, a lot of money, to get milk delivered, or something like that, and in which case you can price it at whatever you want. I have to make the decision if it's 9:30 at night and I need a gallon of milk and it's an hour to the grocery store or it's 10 minutes to your convenience store. Well, I'm going to have to make a decision.
What's it worth to you?
What's it worth? Maybe $7.50. Maybe it's worth $7.50.
Before long, this competition will drive supply up and prices down, creating even more value for society. And now we arrive at the final dizzying lesson. This coordination happens all the time, every day, for tens of millions of prices. Supplies and demands of various goods are constantly in flux, and when the price of steel goes up, for example, it causes a ripple effect throughout the entire economy. Everybody changes their behavior accordingly, from car salesmen to factory workers. And in virtually every case, nobody knows why. The market mechanics are behind the scenes without any central coordination or awareness. Let's go to Tom in Baltimore. Tom, you're on Free Talk Live with Ian, Melanie, and Mark. Go ahead.
Hey, by the way, Scott got a lot of press relative to what he spoke about earlier on the daytime radio show that he claimed to be on. He was on there. In fact, Jones tried to knock down his premise, but it was Dr. Steve Pachenik, I believe, who was also a guest, who actually is Jewish himself, who supported what Scott said. And actually, what Scott was saying on the show was fairly accurate. He wasn't espousing a racist philosophy. He was speaking towards a particularly large, undue, and unwarranted influence that Israel has over the United States, especially in politics. And
unfortunately, Tom, we are out of time. But thank you for the recap of Scott the Bigot, who apparently called the Alex Jones Show. Because most of us probably didn't hear it. I thank you for the call tonight, and we'll put this Foundation for Economic Education article up for you to check out and share on our Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you tomorrow online in the meantime at freetalklive.com.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. SaveItPurse.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network. LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, August 28th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.23 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,297 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 4.1 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,327. Antiwar.com reports alongside announcing the escalations of U.S. wars in Iraq and Syria, the Pentagon was given the decision of whether or not to inform the public about those troop levels. Unsurprisingly, this has so far meant no announcements at all. President Trump followed that up with an announced escalation in Afghanistan last week and once again insisted that exact troop levels would be secret from now on because he does not want the enemy to know. In both cases, concern about public oversight has been dismissed by officials, but not by non-government organizations, with analysts increasingly concerned that the Pentagon is setting its own troop levels, and apart from negotiating with foreign governments, the American public is being kept totally in the dark on the final decisions. This, in many cases, is a convenience for the Pentagon. The 8,400 troops officially in Afghanistan on the day of Trump's announcement was actually more like 12,000. The cap on troops in Iraq was already far exceeded before the escalation there as well. Not making those figures public both prevents public debate on wars that are increasingly out of control and makes negotiations with the foreign states hosting them easier, as is the case in Iraq. Prime Minister Abadi faces any election next year, and revealing how many troops he's allowed in would be a political embarrassment, the sort that might have him blocking further escalations. Instead, the troop levels are secret and no one is the wiser. This means that officials can try to skirt the very real ramifications of their overseas deployments by simply not telling anyone how many troops are involved. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports thousands of people descended upon Berkeley, California on Sunday for a rally against hate in response to planned right-wing protests leading to violent skirmishes and several arrests. At least 14 people were arrested at Berkeley's Civic Center Park for violating protest rules by covering their faces or carrying items banned by authorities. Before the weekend rallies and protests took place, Berkeley police made several efforts to ensure the peaceful expression of free speech, including the prohibition of sticks, pipes, poles, and anything else that can be used for a riot. Police also said that anything that covers or partially covers the face and shields the wearer's face from view or partially from view is prohibited. Several violent incidents, including assaults on protesters, were reported throughout the day. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports Tropical Storm Harvey was set to dump more rain on Houston on Monday, worsening flooding that has already paralyzed the country's fourth largest city, forced thousands to flee surrounding counties, and swelled rivers to levels not seen in centuries. Harvey, the most powerful hurricane to hit Texas in more than 50 years, first hit land late on Friday and has killed at least 2 people. It has since stayed around the Texas Gulf Coast, where it is forecast to remain for several more days, drenching parts of the region with a year's worth of rain in the span of a week. Schools, airports, and office buildings in Houston were ordered shut down on Monday as scores of roads turned into rivers and chest-high water-filled neighborhoods in the low-lying city that is home to more than 2.3 million people. Torrential rain also hit areas more than 150 miles away, swelling rivers upstream and causing a surge that was headed towards the Houston area, where numerous bayous have already been breached. More flooding is expected as water levels continue to rise, putting more residents at risk. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers said they were planning to release water from 2 nearby reservoirs into Buffalo Bayou, the primary body of water running through Houston. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Shortly after being fired from his coding position at a downsizing tech firm, 34-year-old Irvine native Sam Morrison told reporters Monday that he believed he had finally achieved the sort of work-life balance for which he has long strived.
Ever since I got fired, it just seems like my whole entire routine is just clicking. I go for jogs in the afternoon, spend nights with my wife and kid. I'm even cooking more. Everything just feels right.
Morrison, who since his termination has found time to pick up reading again, eat a healthy diet, and sleep more than 5 hours a night, noted that his unemployment has allowed him to find a level of harmony in his personal life that he never before thought possible.
For a while there, I thought that I was going to spend the rest of my life constantly worrying about getting to the office on time and pleasing my boss. Outside of the late payments on the house, the mounting credit card debt, the rapidly depleting savings, my life is essentially stress-free. I honestly couldn't be happier.
This is the Onion News Network.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Yeah. No fear, no fear, no fear, no fear, no fear here, and declare your independence. I'm Ernest Hancock here in Tucson, Arizona, where we're at Vector Space Systems. Jim Cantwell, the CEO of Vector Systems, has given us a tour, and like, damn, we going to space. And the government's not invited. I don't know if they're going to be there or not, but, we're going to go ahead and be able to do what we want to do down to the individual. Davi Barker from Bitcoin Not Bombs is sitting in, and say, wait, I got you down because you're making noise. Say hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, Jim. Say hello.
Hey, good morning.
Okay, now we'll start this off right here. There was a story yesterday on Freedom's Phoenix. If you go there, you can see on Freedom's Phoenix that, it's supposed to go up today. I sent the staff yesterday or last night, probably up this morning. I got to take a look. I get my internet connection on it. We've got it set up. Is that SpaceX did a launch yesterday or day before. Was it yesterday? Is it yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Okay, so yesterday, SpaceX did a launch from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. Now, they had a rocket on there. It was only like 1,100 pounds. I mean, this is, small, nothing rocket, satellite. They're setting up big capsules and going, supplying the International Space Station, all that kind of stuff. We got itty-bitty living space of this little bit of a satellite, and it came from Taiwan, and the contract was done, I think, like in 2010, and for $20-something million. Well, that's baby money.
1,100 pounds is nothing.
Yeah, no, that's
like two fat people.
Right, really fat people, but I mean, or 3 or 4 Ernies. But the thing is that maybe 5 Ernies. It's not get too bad here. But what they did is they made this contract when they were talking about doing Falcon 1. Now, that was just a single-engine Falcon. Right. Now, the thing is that Jim, when Elon Musk decided that, we're just going to make our own damn rocket, he went to Russia and they tried to work a deal. The engine's kind of screw him, we'll do it ourselves. Jim was on the plane with Elon Musk, and there was another gentleman with y'all.
Yeah, it was Mike Griffin. So he later became the NASA administrator, but at the time he was in between gigs.
NASA administrator, Jim Cantwell. We did a show with Jim a few weeks ago, and that's one of the most popular downloads. And there were other guests that day. I think it was Jim, though.
Who knows?
I think it's Jim. It was it's constantly very popular show, and I'll tell you why. Well, he's been doing this around the world, which is why Elon tapped on your shoulder and said, hey, man, come help me out here. well, you'd worked with the Russians before on different space stuff, and space is space, and science, they don't give a crap. Let's go to space. Well, what happened, he made the contract with Taiwan, which was they wanted to build the satellite in Taiwan. It was a Taiwan university, Taiwan business, Taiwan. We got our own satellite for, I'm not really sure what it does. Every couple of...
Sensing.
I'm sorry?
It's a remote sensing satellite.
Remote sensing of what?
Yeah, looking back at the Earth.
Okay, so it's
mainly the Chinese.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, so it's like...
Spy satellite.
Got it.
Oh, no. It's a remote sensing satellite.
Remote sensing satellite. I got to get your terminology right here. Okay. So Taiwan wanted to have this satellite up, and they didn't need big giant, so they were going to have it launched in conjunction with other satellites, because the launch is like, what, $60-something million that they do, and they were paying 20, so they wanted to get a couple others up there. Well, the idea originally was it was going to go on a Falcon 1, not a 9. And Elon decided, we don't need that one so much. So they just went to the Falcon 9.
Yeah, he just walked away from the Falcon 1. That was the original rocket I worked on back at SpaceX. In fact, Vector kind of comes from that era. John Garvey is one of Vector's founders, and I proposed building these small vehicles like we're building here that you see out on our factory floor as a good starting point, just a practice rocket, because the market really wasn't there for the CubeSats. And so the Falcon 1 is what came out of that discussion. He decided these were too small, and we started to build the Falcon 1. So there was a viable market for the Falcon 1. And at the time...
It's more viable now. You got small satellites.
Correct. It was very viable back then, and it's disingenuous of SpaceX to say that they discontinued this because there was no market. The reality was they couldn't make money on it. So and because of their production rates being low, there was no way that they could do the sort of things that they wanted to do financially and then later go to Mars, which required bigger rockets. So the Falcon 1 was a distraction, but it was a stepping stone in that direction. And this launch yesterday was really sort of the last vestige of that, which they honored their commitment to the contract that was signed with the Taiwanese.
Yeah, well, if they did land the first stage on, they have two ships. One, Yes, I Still Love You, or something's the name of the robot ship. You can't call it a barge, or they slap you or something. But, the robot ship that they have out in the Atlantic. And the one that is in the Pacific, they call Just Read the Instructions. Right. I don't know where they come up with these names, but, maybe
I'm sure that's
you
Elon.
do.
Well, I'm sure it's Elon somewhere in the middle of the night. He never sleeps.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there's an inside something to these. But so he has the rocket land on this platform, and they could have more than enough fuel to come back to Vandenberg, but the state of California, I'm sorry, you got a permit for that?
Right.
So it was just, never mind.
They also tax your rocket. When you send your rocket up, you get taxed by the mile it flies. If it's produced in California, it doesn't matter where you fly it, they tax it.
What?
Yeah, you're looking at me with that look. Yeah.
Okay, wait. It's All right, we'll get back to that. Okay, don't forget that part, because damn.
I have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, I know. It's backhanding the government. All right. Now, the point that I'm making is that under the contract, they went ahead and launched, but they lost, even if they get to reuse the first stage several times, maybe they'll be out $15, $20 million. But they just wanted to honor the contract. They did the deal, from back in the day when they were planning on doing the Falcon 1. It got pushed up. Anyway, they did it here, Taiwan, peace out, okay? Now, the thing is that is, what is the payload of your rocket?
So our small one does about 60 kilograms, and our big one, the heavy, quote unquote, with a smile, is about 150 kilograms. So we're almost 2 orders of magnitude smaller.
Okay, so this is, you're not looking at even 1,000 pound. You're doing CubeSats,
right?
We're everything we can get a CubeSat
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's the old mainframes versus the PCs. We're really the modern PC, and they're the old mainframes.
Are CubeSats those little steel cube things you've got piled up in the workshop down there?
Yeah.
That are like about the size of a softball?
Yeah, those are just some demonstration units so we can test the deployers.
Okay.
And those are 3Us, so they're like the size of a loaf of bread. And that's kind of the standard unit for a satellite now, is a U for unit. And right. So one unit is 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. That's what 4 inches, something like
that. That sounds like a cube.
Yeah, like a cubit.
Yeah, it looks like the cubes from Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Like they're these little handheld things I expect.
Oh my God! I know Davi'd make that reference. Anyway, so these CubeSats, the point what they were making in the article, it was in I don't know. It came across my attention.
It was Wired.
It was Wired. Wired magazine. They were going, yep. Elon lost like $15-20 million on this launch. Well, he's just honoring a contract from back in the day, whatever. But the point is they go, there is a big market for small satellites. Who's going to be doing that? I mean, how many? He ain't going to be losing money on that. Nobody's going to be able to afford it. And they go, Mr. Jim Cantwell from Vector's in that very space. So you got a shout out on that in the article for SpaceX launch yesterday.
Yeah.
So I go, isn't that nice?
Yeah, I'm living rent free in Elon's brain.
So when we come back, the first thing we'll start on is the taxes. What? I'm going to create a whole new going to space, and government's going to invite themselves, in the taxing by the mile.
Does it move? Tax it.
If it doesn't move, subsidize it. So we'll be right back.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
If you're looking for work, there's a piece of paper more important than your resume. It's the cover letter attached if you're snail mailing, or the email to which you attach your resume. Make it 4 short paragraphs. Paragraph 1, say that you're applying for work. The person you're sending to gets a ton of mail about all sorts of things. If you have a password, that's your first sentence. Tom Nelson tells me you and I should meet. Paragraph 2, what you do and how that relates to the opening. Be as specific as possible. Paragraph 3, why you want this particular job. I'm originally from Boston, so I know the market well. I have family and friends in the area, so this would be a homecoming for me. Paragraph 4, unless the job posting stipulates no calls, and I will call you to follow up. Thank you in advance for your time. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
DVD, books, music, instruments, periodicals, computers, software, electronics, photo, cell phones, office products, home and garden, bed and bath, furniture, kitchen, pet supplies, automotive, hardware, apparel, shoes, jewelry, grocery, healthcare, sports and outdoors, toys, games, used, and more. It's a department store at your fingertips. Shop.lrn.fm. Get all your shopping done, get a great deal, and a portion of your purchase goes to benefit the Liberty Radio Network when you shop at Amazon via shop.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live.
The people that fought the Korean War and, frankly, the Afghan War won because those people are the military-industrial complex. And what they wanted is they want things that go boom to go boom so that they can build